Hello and welcome to another edition of the Euro 2020. It's going to take place inside Europe right now. I want to say welcome to now all who watch me today on YouTube and on Facebook. Well, today we get England versus Czech Republic. As we all know, the England group right now is very shaky because nobody yet not qualify automatically because then they forget the first team, they forget the highest amount of points for make them qualify. Well, the game don't start with almost meet about 3 to 5 minutes of the first half. We don't start. But I want to welcome we get on the show today. I want to say, let's go to the return. Welcome, Fred Clay. Welcome back.
Thank you very much, Chiboy. Thank you very much, Chiboy. Thank you very much, Chiboy. And I'm happy Mola is here with me.
So now you're increased Mola. Well, Mola, say welcome to the VR's game.
So, welcome, everyone. So we are back again today. And I'm happy to see Fred around.
Well, Fred, everybody seems to be happy to see you around because I don't say when you're around, the studio tense, everything is sparkling. But I don't say at the corner today. But for me, match was very calm quick today because the studio get for me very hot today because I can't now foresee whether we get the other 2 man away for January for league the team complete. But today's program is going to be very interesting because there is so much we'll get for talk about. There is so much we'll need for discuss because the game today is a very crucial game. So Molai, what's your vision that you take on this game today? Because we know for say England, they still fight for qualify with Czech Republic and Croatia, where everybody has the potential for the team will lead the group or can second. So what's your take on it?
My take is England need for win today's match because of supremacy. But technically, they don't qualify already before kicking the ball. However, England not take that for granted. You understand? The fans they want to see the players express themselves more and win this game in a grand style. Because if England get for do well by this old tournament, today go prove that. So then get a lot for proof and for proof to this game when they play today. So far.
So when you say technically England don't qualify, what do you mean by that?
Well, they say even if you take third on the group, you qualify as the best loser or something.
So England will qualify as the best loser.
Yes, already. Because, yes, from last night they put that. And they say England are automatic qualifier because of they already don't get certain amount of points. Okay. So yeah. But as I say, because of supremacy, England need to win this game. Because the first match we then win is not convincing, and against Scotland, they perform below par. The fans then don't criticize the team so much. So there's a lot today. But so far, I see Czech Republic, they do a man marking game. We make a little bit tight. England don't get one chance. We hit the post. Will not be a clear chance for Amsterdam. But let's see what's going to happen. But at the moment, yeah.
All right, well, that's fine. Fred, so what's in your take on the game today? We will know for say, yes, England, as Mola say, already don't qualify by default because if they can't third, now then group then will be one of the best losers then, so automatically they've qualified. So what thing will be your take on that particular statement there? And what if you say the game will be like today, especially when we need for restore supremacy?
Yeah, exactly. We una need for restore una supremacy because I'm French. Get that clear. So
I know.
Yes, exactly. As I always tell you, more like if you work for BBC or CNN, you go really make money because what you know, that which exactly, the British server. Anyway, a goal, man. Standing on score. And
no, not a goal. This is not the highlights. In the show highlights of that goal will be missed.
What's the highlight? The number 2 one, they say highlight. What do you mean by highlight? 11 minutes, 50 seconds, 1 goal for England. Mola, you with us?
Mola, therefore.
You know, okay. Yeah, I don't see the goal.
England don't score. England don't score, Mola. Mola, not be fan you left that a big deal.
Who's na Stalin and score? Who's always score? Na Stalin score.
Okay. Yes, it's Raheem Sterling.
Na Raheem Sterling.
Yeah.
You know. I get an issue here. I want to more like if I come to anything. Then more like I believe so when they talk about best when they talk about best losers, not the best loser, na each group.
No,
the best loser, the whole tournament. So if they can't get England 60, I wonder how they say don't qualify. If they can't get England 60, how they could be best losers? So I don't know how. You don't see, and I make a say this really na British journalists who get so among with really British journalists because boy, how you able to assess and call yourself saying that you lose the best way, you not lose done it. I don't even understand more lie. And you know what happen?
England will be the best loser because there is no way England got 16.
That football and more like back they teach me say when France they play more like they teach me say until the 90 minutes you can't determine anything on football.
Yeah, you're right.
So I don't know that they can go 80 days and the next step back again. I'm B. I think so. We need for make sure say whatever we say now, you know, we don't reshut because to be honest with you, that what we say they announced yesterday say England already qualify as in best losers. I don't know how Englishman themselves take themselves say then are the best loser number for them go qualify. But seriously, you can't analyze that way because what you do, football pass you go play. They can get 3 red cards against England 6. It can happen in football. Anything can happen. But I'm not saying not possible this time. It's not possible.
No, I agree with you.
But there's one thing going on now. There's one thing going on which is very, very important for we all know. You know? Me no go say underdogs and they plan this. But a few teams away will not say yes. Like the what I go say. Few teams away will not knock out. You know, teams away will not say yes. I be their own football not that strong. You know, but we see surprise. Even Belgium yesterday. Now, 9 minutes from now, we mistakes and come with them. Look how they play them.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
This now a competition where nobody so far. You know, England not get 7 points now. Check the day 4. But when you watch how they play, like how somebody going to clear 9 for 9, it's difficult. So we know say football is growing at the wall, and at the technical been changed. We all man be don't know now say now England, Germany this so we can change. Now,
very predictable.
Yes, you can't just predict like that. But from which side they sit today, I think say Boku goal get for day. Because not like say check that they play for win. Seriously, not like say check that they play for win.
So
then I want to
analyze. Why Czech not go play for win?
Well, look at what they do. They defend more. When you see some people in the tactics when they use number, you know say yes, they can't defend because now one man
Agreed.
You see now one man the top at the moment, and then the midfield as they hold the ball, so they penetrate straight now the sides them. So you know team we can defend because when you get for play, you win down, you need a player. You see, Usai England go long commander from Raheem Sterling, and somebody they pay worth up to £81 million. You know, but like that, they man, I know you know team for letting a fail. When you check the value of England players, them and the value of Czech players, they're not the same. You see, and you know they play the value according to in time playing and according to how they play and the teams the way they play for. So for me, today, England gets a better side. When you think of value players, active players, and regular players, they get a better side. But again, we don't see England back when we get a better side with Scotland. And what's happened at the end of the day? We see what happened. Let me say football. Let me go through the halftime and let me see what things happen. But so far, so good. For now, I believe, say, check the defend more. With that, because a lot of problems. Because Saka inside today, Sterling inside today. You can imagine them 2 young boys in the back with their speed. I think so there's a lot of trouble today.
All right, so let's see what happens. And look, we welcome Ali. Ali, welcome to the program today.
Boss man. Now,
It looks like you just got past sleep.
Ali always late. Don't worry about Ali. Go. Ali the shop.
I don't see the shop, but you let come in a good old.
Ali always show up. But England, the talk of they don't qualify already without kicking the ball it was genuine, based on the fact they don't get 4 points, and immediately the other third place teams them, according to the fixture yesterday, was they on 3 points, and so you have to take a best loser forward somehow. But forget about best loser. It looked like they won't win this game anyway. So they already don't score. The whole game was dominated with the COVID thing, with the two Chelsea players, Mount and Chilwell, coming in contact with this and their teammate from Scotland, Gilmore. But it looked like they want to win today, and obviously they have to win. The reason being, too much has been said about this English team. They've don't raise them, their morale too much. So going into the last 16 with just one win, and I think is good enough with the kind of talent we them possess. And Southgate's really come into game today, but Czech not to easy side. So early goal don't mean nothing in football. It's what happens in the final 90 minutes. So now the Czech Republic obviously get a free kick. Anything can happen. And remember Czech Republic get one of the goal scorers of the tournament so far. So let we see how the game go play. But it's kind of a tricky game for England. Early goal for me in football now, it's nothing. It's how the game end up.
Well, I will not say early goal in football means nothing right now. It means you have that first advantage.
Yeah, you get the first advantage, but it doesn't mean you can win the match. We've seen teams come from behind a couple of times, more than enough now in world football, and they win the match. So that's why I'm not trying to give it's an advantage. It's obviously how likely my team score first, but it's not necessarily mean if you've won. That's what I meant anyway.
Okay, I totally understand and I agree with you, Nandi. But it also means the game there at your advantage, because by winning and by losing depends on how many goals you score and when you start for score. Because when you are on top of the game, in the first 15 minutes of the game, they determine exactly some of the decisions we get for the in favor of you. Yeah. Because if you don't play that first 15 minutes and then nothing has happened, the determination for making you able for break to the second 15 minutes of the first half, it means, well, maybe when I begin fight for supremacy. But if that first team don't dominate that first 15 minutes, they don't score a goal, it means they are one step ahead of winning that first half. Because England can afford for Sidona and say, well, okay, let's relax, let's allow them to run around, let's allow them to play their game and see how best we can counter. But Czech not get that opportunity right now because they are finding the goal. We're going to lead them to another exposed defense and midfield. We're going to create another goal for England. Over to you, Molai.
Well, now the competition so interesting. Croatia don't score. So they are both 4 points and the same goal. Because Czech Republic being get 4 points plus 1 goal advantage. Croatia being gets 2 points.
No, Czech still lead them. Czech still get plus 1 goal.
Plus 1.
Yeah, so they're on 4 points, but Czech still get plus 1 goal.
So you don't see the table now. So yes. Now it can become very, very interesting.
So and
check now. What is the cap now? Check the cap open up. Because they know see now then they are to threat.
Then that's the goals difference or points on difference.
Same goal and points.
They are better off by a goal.
Better off by goal. Okay. So now they either try to score a goal or then because you don't know how Croatia and then game get for turn out again. Because Croatia said don't score 1 goal. So now you can see the game they can open now. So they can see interesting football.
Let's watch and see. Okay, Fred, what's in your take on the scores? Because as of now, we don't get teams they will not for say they qualify on this first stage of the competition. And we don't give your analysis them of the team they qualify. So this is not the group B. I mean the group this is not the group. Which group? Okay, this is not the group D stage. This way, more like we know high mark Croatia and England, and myself support Croatia and England, and Ali we don't go for A B C D. Ali we don't go for England and Croatia. So basically, we all then are the same category on this particular group. What thing you feel say go change for make this group get a different quality? I mean, a different qualifier will consider if it is still qualifying at this particular group.
Well, the changes we have in the expect really. I think it has been done way na this corona disturbance on the team stem. But like I say, when you get a bigger team, 2-3 players not can change anything because the ones that within have been determined. Say when they put me and me, I believe I don't want to do it again. You see, but I mean, from which we don't see the type of football they play, the strength. I think Mr. will go to not say England and Croatia for go through, because we see when them two meet up, say yes, this are two heavyweights. And football, I think you're able to tell from past games there because what's the person prepare information which they can do next, you're not able to tell pass which you don't see. From the games that we don't see, Mr. I think I did with you now, which is for I see England and Croatia for qualify in the young group. You see, and I think that they're not beginning to demonstrate now because England they up, by 1-0 right now, and at the same time because I know what Croatia their matches don't score. So I believe with prediction they go well, and trust me, I think that's good for bid at the end of the day.
Okay, well that's fine. Ali, I'm not saying your prediction still stand as it is, but you expect any kind of change automatically based on the fact that all them 3 teams also stand a chance for make one and drop?
Yes, I can, because Croatia, we know say Croatia are a very good side. Again, Czech Republic don't play well. They don't play well so far in this tournament. And it is possible for Czech Republic because the next goal in this England-Czech Republic is going to determine the likely winner. So if Czech can get the next goal, it's going to be very interesting. And to be fair, Croatia will need win. So, but with Czech Republic scoring the next goal, will be very difficult to determine the group because it's going to leave everything wide open. We know England got the edge above the two Czech and Croatia, but the way it's going, it seems like England come full force blazing, trying to get the second goal because they're putting all the pressure on Czech Republic to make sure no slip up, and hopefully, let's see, it's been 25 minutes so far, but anything can change. It's football. You just don't determine who is hungry more wins. And I think today, so far what I've seen, England, with Grealish, the boy from Arsenal, and Stanley, they're really putting on Czech under pressure.
Okay, well, that's fine. As we all see, the game is being played on the Czech half so far. And Czech don't get a couple of chances. They don't try for attempt to make a couple of chances on targets, but yet they haven't had an opportunity to score a goal. As England, they're under pressure again.
Jesus Christ.
That's a back pass, man. Well, this is the you talk about Harry Kane. More like, the striker hasn't proved himself up till now.
Now, it's a top-class striker, but Kane don't play too much before, prior to this tournament. So it's not an excuse, but Kane is a top-class striker. In goal go come. And, it's what they look at. Even if you don't get goals in the group stage, in the knockout stage, it's going to be very important for England. So let's, Aka, like I told you about the defending champion Portugal, they get big tasks, but I will not surprise if Ronaldo is do the magic.
So you still feel say Portugal they qualify and Arizona because Arizona got open?
It's possible. They're the defending champion. They get one of you must want to look Ronaldo play against France and think France gets a lot. France can come through that game easily. But Ronaldo is one of those kind of players where when he's in a game, he can just do some kind of extra. It's always extra motivated.
That group, France don't win one, Germany don't win one, Portugal don't win one.
Yeah.
Now France no more at the advantage because they don't draw one as well. And then you get Germany don't lose Portugal lost, Hungary lost. So basically, the chances for make Portugal go out in that group day is extremely high. Because at the moment, Portugal get for play.
Portugal they play France.
Again, you don't expect France to walk down on Portugal. That's going to be a crucial game.
And
I know they say you say Germany.
Hungary go with France. Unexpectedly, no one was expecting that coming. Hungary go with France.
Is it one? No, it's not.
Yeah, so we think, okay, Germany show class against Portugal. They won convincingly. But it is one of those games where Hungary can just step up again, just put a damper in German cup of tea. So this is the kind of football where the way the group is, I still think if Portugal show up, and depending on, obviously we all expect Germany for beat Hungary, but that's the same thing. Everybody was expecting France to beat Hungary. And what happened? So,
well, France don't jump that level they got now. And the way how Germany they play, I'm not seeing them able for struggle.
Germany, the only better performance was against Portugal. They won 4-2. They were not special against France. They lost to France.
Yeah, but you see how they come back on their return where they be very thirsty for them play against Portugal. So Portugal is on the side. Portugal is your defending champions. They should be performing.
Can you guys see what's going on now? Can you guys see what's going on now, T-Boy? Can you just see what's going on now?
Yeah, we are. England are under pressure, but it's not
see
going to
happen. Pressure.
It's not going to happen, Fred. Don't worry. Fred,
don't worry. It's Czech Republic, they do well really so far anyway.
But I've been talking, say the game they can't change now.
Okay,
now Czech Republic, they're under pressure now. So they go and do something. You understand? Because even if they get a goal, it will help them.
Well, that's why I said the next
even if they lost 2-1. If they lost 2-1, they will get some kind of tricky advantage. So then go on for play. Now they don't open up now.
So
and England need to be careful. England need to be careful.
So you mean Czech Republic, they hope say they will be one of the best losers?
They can even come second position because they're still the second.
Okay. You mean Czech Republic?
Yes. So Croatia need to score.
If they go with England or if they score more goals against England?
If they score more goals against England, because Croatia need to score another goal for letting secure.
Okay.
So if it's still a 1-0, Czech Republic can get an advantage because they get +1 as a goal advantage.
Okay. So Fred, you don't look against Canada.
No, wait a while. No,
wait a while. Or you know what? Because
no, see, I would like for England go because I mean some teams and the way they miss in any competition, you know, say the moment they die out, like France, Germany, you know, all the football on so right now, you know. But I think someone will look at the changes. We don't left out back in the England team. You find out a different team this today. And trust me, I just afraid no more go run out of, you know, pace at the end because I wouldn't start the first 15 minutes, don't drop down now.
Yeah.
They made it permanently now check the young half.
I agree with you.
See, but now check the England goal inside the 18-yard. You see if you check and now just lock and God save no more now back when you check what they go on now. So as the look say, you know, we fresh player they can say look like Saka they can see last number 3 for can cover. We no say yes, one man you get stopped. So you know say if you see attacker in the left back again from the forward and come down to that end, now pressure. You see, and that's mostly the base on. So they really get on small back again, they really get on small, you see. And for me, I should say that they lost the ball too fast. Then they possessed but they lost the ball too fast. For now. You see, and it looks like they're no content. When that came on, I an English ball no like. Just a goal, even for 5 minutes.
And obviously, we go show any form of content right now because we haven't even won the game properly yet. 1-0. Maybe when we come to the second half, because I believe, my opinion, they might be keeping their steam for the next half because the first half is almost finished anyway. It's almost finished. But again, as you say, they are under pressure. Yes, I agree. But that pressure is not there for me to say they will lose their steam for do another counter. Then get enough pace at the wing backs then for flow, for go back and forth. Like we say, they might be under pressure, but they can handle that pressure because they get the ability for going calm on a regular basis. Yes, Harry Kane are the lone striker right now because they can't really how to use the formation that are 4-3-2-1 formation. We kind of diamond in the middle. But again, that formation they only work with team we not get enough pace. If you meet team or you play against team we get enough pace, that formation you go struggle with them because that means that they close each man down we want to use for crowd the midfield. So England still stand chance for score another goal before first half done. I totally believe that. But again, they don't for lose their concentration because check the rundong. And when check the rundong on them, then they use almost everything. Check no look gets any kind of formation right now. They get full studied midfield. I bet there are only one striker at the up yonder. So now the both same system, the two teams that they play right now, which to me will cause a lot of chaos for one of the opposition sleep no more. That's it. Now clean correction. So now that's the pressure where England be done that GG's no. But not saying that, I still believe England get the potential for score another goal going into the second half. But look watch and see what's going to happen.
But more I make comment just no way. I want to come to that comment say, and I want to understand and fight. More like you tell me say can they wait after this group stage to go begin score? Suppose you not be reaching more like I want to analyze that back for me back. I don't get that clear. More like I don't get that clear.
No, I know ever.
the Champions League final. So I think the guy in Liverpool, the midfielder for Liverpool, I would think for me, it's the one that should be leading England as captain.
Okay. When I weigh you, who do you go suggest he could be the England captain for now, according to the way how you see the team to play?
And the right captain and get to for that squad. We're talking about consistency. All them players in really so apart from Harry Kane and Walker, they all you see them in and out. They're not consistent in the national team. You see them one game, maybe so after this tournament, some phases in the way this is a place they would other phases there. But these are the regular.
What about the goalkeeper?
Consistent.
What about the goalkeeper?
He just joined the squad.
No, he don't join the squad. He don't tell the squad small, more like.
No lie.
He joined the squad from World Cup.
Yeah, so it's not new. And World Cup is like how many years ago? 4 years ago?
Check inform.
I still like, to be fair, I still think
Harry Kane is the captain.
Harry Kane is a captain, is like I've already said, he's a very good player.
In terms of leadership, you all get different approach.
I think for me, Anderson in Liverpool, it's man way goable. But they look leadership by injury. Everybody can get injured. And it's something where you can't determine. Football today, you can't determine injury. But Jordan Anderson, for me, could have been a better England captain. It's not.
For me, I think now one of Maguire, the defender. To me, I think he gets leadership potential. He gets height. He's built. He's physically fit. He shows authority in the defense. So those are the type of players then we look at leadership in terms of leading the teams to competition.
Because you're not defensive player, so you always feel seeing a defensive player to be a leader.
Not necessarily, but most of the leaders then in football, most of them where they captain. It's either a midfielder or a defender because they see the game better, they read the game better, they direct the game better. You hardly see a striker for becoming a leader because he doesn't actually see the game.
Maybe no say you can decide. Now I use that word.
But it doesn't true. It's fact. So basically, you choose leadership from somebody where they right at the top of the half. Because he doesn't see the game, he doesn't read the game, he doesn't know how to change the game, he doesn't control the game, he doesn't direct the game.
So Maradona.
I totally disagree.
Maradona is not a striker, he's a midfielder. And again, he gets control of the game.
Ronaldo?
Messi.
What about Messi?
Messi can be captain. Ronaldo, of course, can be captain because Ronaldo then at the flag, so he sees the game from the angles. But as a striker, you name me a striker. Bing, 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 bing. Out and out striker, we don't captain in team. Very few.
Scotland just scored.
Scotland back no score. And they even missed England back. They missed England back. Oh, no, England missed.
So you see how the group don't they play up because Scotland know they need to win, and it's very, very important. This goal.
Well,
couple of minutes before half time.
I asked coaching to be on a take on the particular game, but on the time he say it will not change. But so far, it looks like there is going to be some amount of change.
That's why they call it prediction. That's what they call it. That's why they call it prediction.
It can change anytime.
At any time.
So you didn't predict, say, what in England they go out? Or because this is now one of the games that we will all not agree on. This particular group, now one group will all not agree on the two countries where they qualify. We might get it wrong. Anybody believe that still might get it wrong?
Yeah, possibly. That's a game. That's football.
All right.
No, for waiting me to see, trust me,
It's it's very obvious now. Scotland needs
to win. And if not, my God. So they're only making it easy for England, you see? Because check themselves back. If you stand as it stands, so now they qualify. You see, then they get 4 points. I mean, this, let us do a prediction, but it's going to be tough.
I know this is not tough group.
Football game for play.
Yeah, game for play.
Of course, this is a very tough group. Because the reason why this group don't become tougher, because you no longer out and out country don't win 2 games automatically. So basically, it's been challenging, and it's going to be challenging because every single one of them have the potential to qualify right now if they win as the game stand as it is right now.
So if you
go on.
I guess what for ask more like something. I hear more like they tell me just not say when the result they out, they check that they change when they score one, just they check the non-change their form of play because they know about the results. Analyze that better for me, but more like, please.
Well, they know they do one back because now, watch now when with Scotland equalize so now, then get for go back and they retreat back again for try for protect.
So I ask you now, so you want to get distraction now? Somebody will inform them about the next thing. They go
it's
now.
All communication now. It's all communication.
I do understand that. Of course, but you go one for this. You go one for do that to your player the way you know say they put the other team tremendous pressure. You go one for do that to your players them. Or guess they say go for win.
Fred,
let's be honest to each other, yeah.
Tactically, get the way they pass the message to you players them. Tactically,
say go for more. Go left.
Yes. Oh, you say calm down. Say manage the game. You understand? This manage the game. You see yesterday, you see how Finland tried to manage the game.
Mm-hmm.
You see how they try to manage the game. You understand it? If you just turn against the normal way, Denmark go get bunch of goals. But Finland managed that game the first half, and then when they come back in the second half, the first 15 minutes, they manage them well.
All right.
This is a typical example. Yeah, no, this is a quick one, but this is a typical example from waiting at the time for Brinkham now. Now, you self you will manage your own team. You can never tell what it will be the final results of the other game. So me will just tell me player and say, go and win this game. But me, I don't need no further information to owner because now you go know. And you know what the control say, calm down, with the other team don't score. With the other team equalize, no pressure now on this. So I don't think so. I mean, I'm not sick for that happen. With this stage of football.
Well, sometimes you get to be careful. We take certain risk. You get to be careful. If you feel say this is not necessary, you just hold the game up. If there's any opportunity in terms of transition, you can go for it. But if you don't see that transition, you try to maintain, manage the game. You understand? You lock all the space where the opponent not able to utilize. And see how it goes.
Now,
see, the tactical stuff is difficult. It's difficult. You understand? No, and I worry in something. Because now look now, Croatia is second. Then this second now. If you don't
check this second. Croatia is second now. No, check this second now.
Check this second, yeah. Then this second.
Yeah.
Imagine they went down.
Yes. Then they went down.
Then they went down.
And then still a second.
And they get +1. You think can now say, does it worth risking our game, make it open? What if England can score another goals then? We'll go minus.
Yeah.
Because if England score one more goal, we'll go minus. So it's all tactical stuff. It's not easy.
No, I guess if not me, where I want to prepare the mindset of my players, all which I need for doing now for telling say go for a win, seriously. Because you go try for a result, say, okay, no, we will not forget another goal against, where you don't know what will be the outcome of the other game. So let's go for winning. That's clear everything for you. And I people say they're staging on the, I don't think they're going to gamble that much. Just go for winning. At the end of the day, you just want the best results. You see? I just want to bring that kind of because
if you go for winning spread, the problem with the face, it means you leave your team open to counter attacks and attacks because you're going for a win. But if you go for a technical draw or a technical lose with a goal down, because you still get +1 goal at your advantage, you will play it safe. Because if you go for an out-and-out win, it means you are going to leave your team open. At the moment, they are 1 down. You don't have nothing to lose if you just maintain that 1 down a day. You still qualify. But if you now say, okay, we did 1 down, we didn't forfeit for equalize, look, we did at far, so that we be able to get qualification conveniently, then you left the team to some kind open gap. Because not forget, say, the more you attack, the more you open your pitch. The more your pitch become very open for the opposition. Because outside the space that they need to play part. And if you get team we get very good attacking team, we get space, as they win the ball, just 1-2 over. And when they send that 1-2 over, then wing back then, you of course know. That's the essence of the wing backs. For me, they reach at that point, they outside the ball, and if they get full-fledged wing back, then we get pace. Now, team are nobody score goal. Sometimes you don't even need to touch the ball, you treat them. From the post where they win the ball, to the wing back, to the other wing back, strike at the middle, bang, goal. By the time when they come for can cover, they know each other don't have. So it's very risky. So as soon as I'm ready to come out, as soon as you come out. But the risk at which you go take that chances there, you might not qualify. But again, you might still qualify. But the gamble is too high. In order at your advantage. Maintain what you get, no rush for lose them, and then you still qualify. Or
so what's the best form of defense? What's the best form of defense?
The best form of defense is always attack, but
thank you very much.
You don't have nothing to lose.
With a C check them back again, then England 18-yard box permanently. So man no go tell me say they reserve they take them time. No, they go all out attack.
They might not reserve that.
Fred,
they take themselves.
Fred, they started in defensively. That's what they start. Now, when England scored a goal, when Croatia score, now you see Czech Republic open the game. They begin attack constantly. They begin attack England constantly.
Fred, now let me come to you. If you not the Czech coach or the England coach at the moment, the way how the game stand, what you go give the player them if they win the game for go to the next stage for qualify?
In terms of
compensation, like how the president compensate with player them. What you go give them? This is Englishman they possibly have achieved everything, but what can you actually convince them with as a gift?
That's a difficult one. Tibo, when you know say this kind of people we get everything we take, and not like a way and a safe way. People don't even know get also we are not going to go buy land with them get a land. It's really a difficult one because if now money talk about them play and get money, and most of them they go for them caps them, you know, they caps them more than they get. So I believe see waiting they need more na playing time in the national team, but you know you're different from we Obayanda and Tibo. This is all set. I don't think so much extras in there, yeah. You know, like an increase of salary or more match bonus. I mean, England, they've got their system. You know, everything on the place before the tournament. I don't think say it can change. I believe say waiting up for them na good message and good words and more hope. But their own form of doing things is quite different from back home. You know, me I shame self when gonna public say now some man they back again. Like how you be they tell me say today one with borders back and say landy. I think say if you name now all I see for the way you go give me 2 town lots, then you publicize the plan way for the other person they make copy now for the way you die ready for begin fetch you picking they all. I mean, it's quite different from here, you know. And I not just think say that's correct again, you know. If you call somebody, maybe they get more incentive, you know, and now somebody they get the land. If you go get $10,000 with something Mama-sick and not be no rent to Swenson to Padi, you said you go be those party sell back. Party sell. You see, so I think say I'm not saying it wrong, you know, no gets me. I'm not talking that something wrong. But now more pain into certain people and back again because now like where they can tell you now say you just can't England. Look what also I don't give money for putting that inside it. Eat yourself back again, you may go back again for people you eat it. It's not that you go there inside it no more now. So all that thing in the ball. In like England also it go out for maker able for say so that they ever foster this I become more like part 2. Where I'm not going to give you a definite answer to your question. You know, not get me wrong because last answer like more like because it's difficult and social media with this I think say we get for be to me I believe say and the old system maybe only na encouragement better word to go encourage them to do more and tapping at the back when I'm more than say look you've done well keep it up.
Okay, so Ali, what's you go compensate the team right now if it comes to you?
T, I saw you before you go to Ali.
Okay, go on, Molai.
All them teams here so when you go to the tournament, there's a prize plan there for them.
Yeah.
You go to the tournament and get amount when you don't give them already. Tell them say when you proceed, you have to get certain amount. So the more you proceed, now the more the package plan they go. Until you get to the finals. You already don't do it, they change no nothing, the norm.
Sorry, Mola, you are missing the question. Mola, you are missing the question. If me not be the coach, what team you go get the player? Then Mola, you miss the question. Not what in the country, what you go do or get the player for me then do more. Yeah. If you not be the coach now.
No, it's just it's just a motivation. It's just a motivation you need for the player. Yeah.
Okay. Ali, before we come with your answer. What's you go get the player if you're not the coach for me then qualify for go to the next stage?
I think it's more belief. It's more belief. This is football. You have to believe before you can accomplish, before you can produce, before you can deliver. So you have to believe. And when you believe, you can get to where you it's just a natural thing. Forget the opponent. Believe you're going to dominate them. Believe you're going to win. It's a football of 90 minutes. And I think that's what we'll be talking about after tactics, after everything we don't come through days of putting in practice. My next thing where I believe is a confidence and belief. You need to instill it in your players, because they're all talented. You play against other talented opponents. But if you believe past the next person and you can go on the pitch and dominate the next person, and that's where you win a match. Although sometimes you can dominate a match, but you can't win it. So it's football. It's not necessarily you have to give player big money before they go out and win game. You understand? I don't. Money is another other side of motivation. Money is definitely key to everything what they do. But when it comes to football on the pitch, the player have to believe first. So we're going into this pitch, we're going to win this game.
No, I talk about an extra compensation. We all know that the game is about winning it. So whenever they select you for go play for any kind of team or any kind of game where you go play, now for go win. But don't play now like how it is on the England stages now. We just have to make you qualify, and then you can't say to the player then, if you not qualify for this next round, now this one gets as package for now. Take into consideration, England gets all team. They get the money, they get the houses, then they pay them well and all that stuff.
Well, so this is why when it comes to European football, money is not an issue. When it comes to European football, when it comes to this level of football,
money is an issue because some players they complain say they need to play well, so they need forbidden.
Not when it comes to this kind of level, because like we Pamola, we don't say this na European football. The further you go, the more money you FA get, and all these guys are well looked after. And apart from the national team well looked after them, they themselves, all of them are very rich guys. You don't play at this stage of football, you are not wealthy. So at this stage of football, what some of these guys are looking for is laurels, medals, titles, honors, things that can add to them. You understand? Right. When it comes to money, we find this issue where we come from, where money is a motivation. In this level of football, where we're looking at now, these guys, no poor man, nothing at that field.
Well, the good thing I would say is you come very close to the answer when maybe they look at. Very, very close to them. But you don't hit them exactly, but you come very close to them. Yes, we know say this country is rich in everything. The players can get money, they rich, they get money, then they play football over the style. They just need morale, they need booster, according to what the old man say. But the user makers, you come very close to them. One of the most biggest incentives when money can't buy for footballers in this country, if they win anything, European-wise, World Cup, will be a honor from the Queen. Most of them can get OB, or some kind of title where the Queen they give them. So basically, if you watch the line the way we win the last World Cup, the Queen get all OB. So they all been get some kind title from the Queen. So basically, that's now one of the biggest honor where they can get where money can't buy. So if they win the Euro, and I go believe that the next England team will go win the World Cup, they will all possibly have that title from the Queen, because it means it hasn't been done for donkey of years. It's only been done once, and the one that always win that title, they all get medal from the Queen. So basically, that's now one thing we will get. But I'll turn out to the real segments of the...
No, Tiba, I not agree with you. Tiba, I not agree with you. Tiba, I not agree with you.
Why?
You are saying getting it from the Queen. And your question was, if I was the coach, what will I give to my players? The manager. What will I give to my players?
I request for OBE for my players if they qualify. It's my request to the Queen.
Yeah, well, if request, I think is right. If you say request, I mean, now long as the need, not I would say this part of the world, you don't need that. But maybe you understand. Say me as a coach, which I will give the player. Me as a coach, or as a manager. But that have been that, you know.
Okay, well, it's okay. Possibly use question in another format, but it's the same question. Once you go as a manager,
exactly, yeah.
It's just the way of thinking, how you think. Basically, now the fact say money can't buy most of the things that you look at inside Europe. Money can't buy you honor. And as a manager, the only way I can convince you guys to go and win this tournament, I will put in my application so that you guys will have an honor from the Queen. Every player will kill themselves for that honor because they won't forget that OB or that honor way the Queen begin and say, okay, I will knight you. I mean, Sir Bobby Charlton was Sir Bobby Charlton because of the World Cup. Sir Alex Ferguson became Sir Alex Ferguson because of his role in football.
Do we see any changes? Guys?
In
we haven't talked about changes. Do we see any changes in the second half? Do we see any changes from both sides? England will get changes, but I doubt no more. I doubt no more if Czech Republic will get any, but England should say yes. They must not forget.
Well, let's wait and see. Well, Czech they make a change now, so I believe something England also make a change.
Oh yeah, well, just get a change. Just make a change. Yeah, England they make a change. England they make a change as well.
Okay, well, let's wait and see.
Well.
But me, if you say this game the end 2-1,
you know, and I will be disappointed again. I don't see that. I don't see Czech for score. You see, England don't make a change now. England don't make a change. The man where I talk about say. Now I forget Captain Doncaster. You see we come inside. You see what you do. I think say what we what I mean say you see responsibility you don't take. You see movements. They understand from Liverpool. You see you don't take over the field. You need player like them. I'm not getting that against Kane, but to me, I don't know. You're not getting the spirit. It's just not getting the spirit. You're not getting the spirit. You see, you need even say everywhere for challenge referee, nothing like that. So you're not getting the spirit. You know.
Well, I will kind of agree with you. Again, the player where they talk about the Liverpool player, as soon as he can say, you don't begin seeing command. But basically, these are the born leaders. They don't make them for lead. So basically, any side they go, then they show them leadership. For making big captain at Liverpool, it's not funny. Even if you can't play for England, that you captainship, that control you get over the Liverpool team, we're full of superstars them. You must get that kind of energy in you. Even though you play in England, we know to the England captain, but you will feel like you're still managing, or I mean, you still the captain that you Liverpool team, or that you team where you know for saying that you have been the driving force. The camera is now being on him now on a regular basis because they want to see the kind of player we be and how it will possibly can change the game. But I think England changes is more technical. They haven't put in any striker. but they don't put in a midfielder where they can sit down and hold the game. More like, what do you think? Because she is smiling.
I agree with you.
All right.
Yeah,
So
but,
now, wait.
but what I would say, we need to observe this player we come in because to be honest, match fit.
Okay.
He don't pass 4 months, play active football.
For Liverpool.
Yeah, and there's a lot of issues going on, a lot of critics going on about the inclusion of the team. See, honestly not fit. So we need to observe him. Because even that the friendly wouldn't play where he come in, he got a lot of stakes from the football expert. Them we know more about the game. Say this man not really fit. Why the one do we get a match fitness and release them at the camp?
I don't know what
and then keep on at the squad.
Get match fitness the listing.
Well, let us make an example of a player yesterday we played for Belgium. We make similar kind of example too.
Mm-hmm.
I bet we all know the player, not so. Hazard. Yeah. Hazard hasn't played much for Real Madrid. He's been injured most of the time. But they're still determined for player and he's still maintaining captainship because they want to make it get match fit. And for being match fit, it means you have to play games on a regular basis. So is it wrong to allow him to play based on his potential for make it get more matches so that he could be match fit for the other rounds of the competition, even though no for say yes, he hasn't been fit, he hasn't been playing regularly over the past couple of months? You feel say it's wrong?
It depends. It depends on the player, the ability of the player. And also, sometimes you get them right, sometimes you get them wrong. Now, make us say, let me observe. Because if something go wrong now, you will hear the critics say what you go see at the end of the day.
Well, you can always speak on the critics.
They play 2 unfit players then. I make England able to play. Because even Maguire says he gets a question mark. And then they play in his central positions. So I make us say, let me observe. Because if the result's good, you don't hear anybody say anything about that. But when it goes bad, then they pick up them things in it.
But why make football always look at the negatives, not the positives?
Because that's what the game did. I make the game.
Wow.
I make the game, yeah. I make the game.
Yeah. Me say a different thing. You watch first half, all check the way they play, then they play on the left and on the right hand side. Watch, check them now. And this midfielder will come in, now we can play with Saka, or just observe no more. Now midfielder all the way get ball where they turn on the right. So a week in there they analyze, but we don't know exactly the whole way coach bring player come because the manager always want win. He always want for win. So if you see looking bench and say, come, I believe say he believe in the player and in the city past me and you now, yeah. You know, as you can always say, personally they get hard time or they get difficult and Kane they mess up. I think say no go done this game back. That's why I say Kane never done this game about because as I tell now, he not determine this competition, not really at this stage, you not determine it. But coaches they always get what they talk, you should take Kane they do. Always what they say, you know, role where you want a player can play, they play in your role. Just watch the midfielder we come, where you get ball, we take it for Apple. They're more on the left hand side. Like they keep them more, but we always turn it on the right. And because they get a blockage for pass on that left, they just watch them now. That left then now, I think so the coach not just letting use the right. And if you get midfielder we hold the ball always turn the left and you want the right, you always make them changes then they. But I think it's too early to say. Lord, just give them 5 more minutes because the pace at which England they play so now, me not see them for go for this competition. Trust me, I don't see them for go far.
Well, yeah, you might think like that, but again, this is not just the first stage of the tournament. You cannot determine because at the moment the team not able for pick up in your pace at the moment with the players and way they chop and change. As you see, the player the way they chop and change. So these are the first starters of the official England first 11, and we have possibly about 3 or 4 or 5 possibly new starters that we just don't come in within the past couple of months for me to be able to gel into the new England formation, which is a struggle. So you don't expect them to come and perform magically right now because their form on the league level is different from the international level. They haven't played many international games apart from the qualifiers then. And again, the Premiership, yes, is tough, but the Premiership has only been proven to be the game that it was a couple of seasons ago because the whole of last year, I need to call it football because there is not much that has been played. The fans, they really give that boost and that bite to the game haven't been present in all the games they really play. So basically, football is being played in isolation. And this is not the very first test of football being played in isolation winning at this European Championship. And there was a lot of rumors for saying for Council Arm, it's not safe, it's not this, it's not that. But there's a lot at risk. If you watch, it's 2021. If I don't play last year, 2020. So they maintain all the stationery and all the publication, the media content, of everything that we put together for 2020 remains the same. So they took a lot of chances for making this competition play. So to me, the outcome of this tournament means a lot more for sure say, yes, the game can be played in difficult circumstances. Because don't forget, we'll get World Cup next. So. And if we actually not play this European Championship, then definitely the World Cup is going to be a no-no. You prefer for make them put a total ban on the World Cup than they actually allow this tournament also for play. Because if you watch this, they play right now, Copa America, they play, and few more other Asian leagues them. Win an Asian tournament and back they go ahead because they want to test the waters for tournament like this will happen during the pandemic, which is very much challenging. So yes, the England team will not be 100% because none of the teams are that stable apart from the Belgium and the France we don't see. And because of those two countries have enough personnel in their squad, it makes it a bit easier for them for being able to stand the times of COVID because they get players in almost all the leagues in Europe. So they are covered. I don't know whether you get anything for say towards that. In regards to the England, the totally time for cry down, so we don't think.
No, I'm not crying down. But expectation and not to England no more Corona Day. It's everywhere. With England in the face, in Italy, Belgium, and everywhere. England they get more time said because before the Marano, England don't kick up back. But on a serious note, I'm not to see that anger and then the question, but say the Belgium and Lukaku they smile say, what you say, say it's not lion, it that for shake. Now that's another see. And what make us say so? Look at what's happen. When you play, say reach at the 18. I didn't a good joke. So say they are not serious. You want to go down pass all the minutes when it's a big exam number now. Now we reach on a classroom and begin the team. But that's what they say now, you see. You have to see certain determination in them. I don't see them right now. I don't see at all. I bring them down, but I don't see any determination in the English team for now.
Okay, well, again, Morai, I don't see you don't follow the English team a lot more than Fred. Fred a Frenchman. No matter what you say about the English team, I'm not for saying.
I'm not French this time. I'm not French, T-boy. No, get me wrong, T-boy. No.
We are here to say the facts.
No, this time around. We are here to say the facts.
It's the fact, but that's too much stick for the facts. So that comes to the one they not the Englishman. So then we'll give me some compliments. Molai. I come to Ali. Go on. I wait for you Formula 2. Anyone part?
I enjoy the game. Yeah, I understand what Fred they say. It's with the kind of quality players that England get. You think the young. They play in a good league, they play in top clubs. You expect England probably, but this is competition because I was following David James today where he said, he's been part of the England national team. Say the hype always there. But in England look like they just want to get out of this group. then go maybe regroup and see what they can do in the last 16. So far, 55 minutes, it looks like England is going to be one of the teams going into the last 16 in the tournament. They've not been dominant. They've not been too impressive. It's like a scuffed game all through since they scored the one goal. Started well in the opening 16 minutes, and I think they don't put any kind of pressure on Czech Republic, but they just want to grind this result and get to the last 16 and take it from there. But obviously, I get it clear, because you see Belgium, they score, free flowing. You see Germany, they score. You want England to be in that kind of, but we all know, for a very long time, England not dominate European football when it comes to national level. They always they get good squad, but when they come to competition like this, you're beginning to see, there's so many things about the English national team, so I'll wait to see, and it's going to be very tricky again, the kind of draw where they'll get, because, some draw, if them fall, because I don't know if the France group, then fall in that group, it's going to be a very difficult one, because you're going to either France, Germany, or Germany, Portugal, or Portugal, France. Either of those teams will be very, very difficult to handle. But we'll see what happens first.
Okay. Over to you, Mona.
Gentlemen, collectively, England is struggle. Collectively, the team is struggle.
Okay, why you say that?
If you watch the game, man for man, when you compare them to Czech Republic, you will think, England is a better side. But Croatia, they play better collective football than England.
No, I think, sorry, I'll just correct something. I think England, this group, they play the winner from E and F. So A, D, E, F. That's how they have to play. So I'm looking at, it's going to be from the Poland, Spain group. Most likely they will meet.
Okay. Well, that's not too bad. Go on, Molai. I think we can handle any one of those two right now because they're not in their own best form as well.
Yeah. When you look at it, both teams, you understand, you compare them man for man, you feel England forget edge over them. England will be a better side, but the English team, they struggle. And this is England. Let's be honest. This is England. We don't get all the players, and it's just individual. When they go into tournaments, you're not able to see anything from them. After the first 15 minutes where England play this game, you see a lot of positive moves from the team. Raheem Stanley hit the post before he scored the other goal. Since when this England score, let's be honest, tell me what team we don't see win a positive team from England play. You understand? Even for make 4 passes, the team, they struggle. And now Croatia, we not play the big boys yet. We not meet the big boys yet. Now Croatia.
Well, England can always perform when they meet the big boys, so I'm not getting no doubt in that.
So show me 1 or 2 games when they don't play pan tournament, when they play against the big boys, and then England perform.
They've done very well against Germany over the years. They have done very well with even with France, yes.
In the tournament, so, they play against France in the tournament.
Well, I say over the years, they've done very well against them. Whether it's
qualifying or friendly. But when they go into tournaments, England playing against the big boys. Let's be honest, me and you. I like England personally.
Well, they've gone through certain rounds. So basically, they haven't just stopped at first rounds. And when you don't pass the first round in any tournament, go on.
No, quick one. More like say, like England pass you. I just want to discuss on it quick. I want to know how to use it.
I like England person. But maybe follow the team
Okay,
person.
my God.
Maybe follow the team person. Fred, we struggled on this game. I'll be honest.
No, you should be honest. I've said it earlier on. You should be honest. I've said it earlier on.
No,
You know, with what I'm saying, I don't see you guys going forward. Yes. I mean, no, T-Boy, I was saying this just now, and yes, but I said earlier, you look at like for say I hate England, but we are here to say the facts, and I want you to all know me for it's the facts. This is simple, and it's the facts. Look what England they play. Look what England they play. The England who you know. And I want in the game now. Una don't they do that problem there because Una the journalists they hype the team more than what
Croatia don't lead the game.
Croatia don't lead the game.
Yeah, 2-1.
Well, Nana, you can see the pool. They can play under pressure now.
So why for can play under pressure because Croatia
this is what I'm saying. I mean, this one.
Croatia don't score 2 goals. Now goals in the count goals before you go to against. So Croatia don't get advantage now. You can see how Czech Republic now they can raise the game.
Yeah.
So it can be more interesting.
Well, I didn't make a note to communicate because that was what I was saying. If them don't go before, they pay the way to you can't be where they accelerate. If they don't go before, now you don't need all this. And that is what Croatia are doing. Check the way say Croatia score, they press. When they not score, then see. I mean, I say more like it doesn't work that way. It's just football. Let's be honest, you know. You will see the way the opponent score. Then what's going to happen now? Look at the time; it's 2 minutes. There's still more time. But when do you think England is going to allow these guys to score? Or you know, so I think say you as a coach when you players they go, you just tell them, look, go for it. We need the 3 points. Go for 3 points and goals because with 3 points you're not counting goals.
You're right. So win your own game.
You see,
and
not say. I mean, I wish for that. Yeah, that's it. To someone,
win your game.
You know,
win your game.
That's what I was saying earlier on. You see, but to be honest with you, seriously, I am totally disappointed in this squad. I'm totally disappointed. Look at what they are doing. I'm totally disappointed. From what I was saying today, and with the match against Scotland. I mean, T-Boy, come on, say something.
Fred, we always struggle.
Yes, I'm with you, Mola. Yeah.
I don't know what you want to say. No, I didn't listen.
Fred, watch.
No. You have to say something.
No, I didn't listen. I'm listening more than saying anything because, again, if I say, I will talk, maybe not being honest, but for CC, yes.
Now go there. People don't get penalty no equalization. Now go yourself. You see?
The team they play perfectly well, but still, we stand a chance to score another goal. Even though we seem to be under pressure.
No, hold on. Even with the 2-1, Czech still qualified. Czech Republic still qualified.
You got 4 points.
Yeah, 4 points.
They both get 4 points. They both get 4 points, but Czech still get +1 in terms of goals.
Yes. You see?
They're not equal +1 right
now. No. If even they equal, Czech reach before them. So now Czech from the team we come up now Czech get Q. So now Czech still qualify.
No, they begin minus. Czech begin minus. When before the game kick off, Czech begin minus. So
you see?
Even it's 2-1 now. So you got to take off the minus first, plus before you done. Wherein Croatia bigger minus, so Czech bigger plus. So Czech still in a better position to go through as it stands.
Now
Croatia, the next goal, go make a difference.
Yeah.
If Croatia score next,
I don't make things difficult for Czech Republic. As far as me know, England they qualify. I know, but anything else where that person they do for Lucky qualify, not to be concerned, and they will qualify for these first rounds, and then we go build the momentum for the second stage. That's
me. They talk based on performance. We know they perform. That will be honest.
Of course, England can perform poorly in the first stages of most competition, but they pick up from after that. But I can introduce Paul. Let Paul come on the program and say welcome to VS them today. You can't be it, but things I don't know whether now he falls or not he falls. But welcome to the program anyway, Mr. Paul. I know you're one of the England haters then, so I don't expect anything good from you. But over to you. Paul, you're frozen. Okay, let Paul go to refresh in system. But Malai, I totally understand. Say yes, we might be playing not too good football, but at the same time, we get for look at the tournament. These are tournaments, as we always say. You know what I mean? Say if we don't perform poorly right now, we go able to maintain that poor performance before go to the next stage. Like somebody said earlier on, look, we just focus on qualifying. Look, we get out of this first round.
Yeah, but since last night we've already qualified. So let's play.
But no, we haven't qualified yet.
Stop it.
So qualifying on assumption.
We're not playing. Stop it. We're not playing.
I totally agree. We're not playing well. I totally agree. So we don't play well. But as far as I'm concerned, I think we have to go through this first stage and then we pick up momentum.
We've been through that. We've been through the first stage since last night.
Hello.
Since last night, we need to play.
But I don't mind anything we can say right now because we don't get scared. We don't tarnish the team. We don't talk all kind bad.
But that was the fact. T-Boy, that was the fact. T-Boy, that was the fact.
It's fact.
No, T-Boy, that was the fact.
It's fact. I know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying not of facts. Yes, now fact you say. I totally agree with that fact. But at the same time, this is just the first round. The first round cannot determine the potential of the team going forward. That's not the first round. In England, not seems to be performing well.
With the momentum of the English team, you expect England should be beating Czech convincingly, but that's because the way the media, and tomorrow morning you check what the media is going to be saying about this team, and you're going to begin to understand,
No, they've got an excuse.
England struggle against Scotland. Scotland is losing to Croatia now, and this game is still not even draw yet because it's possible the Czech can still score. I'm
not saying other game, but this game Czech need to stop away.
Yeah, it's possible, but there's a lot of time yet. We've still got about 20 minutes. Time plus extra time.
Long time in football, but that still not means they check the score against me right now. If Czech score against me, whether
Czech score or not, the team is not being impressive. That's the bottom line.
I agree. Paul, what have you been doing?
Yeah, hi guys. Sorry to join.
Hello, Mr. Parker.
We're fine.
I'm visual. I don't cancel my invitation.
Yeah. I don't think you know it's as them, but when they cancel the invitation.
I'm coming in late, but the problem with England, I mean, I'm not saying you English people, but you're damn too pessimistic about your team. I don't know. No, really, honestly, I'm speaking from my heart. I mean, I think England started well. I think the early goal gave them a little bit of lift. I saw a different game than you guys are talking about.
That's the first, just only the first 15 minutes. After that,
only the first 15 minutes. The games, like, at least they don't set the premise, the tempo of the game, and I don't see them getting into any trouble. No, let me finish. Because all the time you hear England, it's like, oh, this is not Czech Republic, who beat them 5-0. Oh, but international football is completely different for so many reasons, When you look at Germany, when you look at France, a lot of their players, they play the same system and in clubs, right? When you look at Germany, the best players, and they play the same system, then they play with Real Madrid, Bayern. They are playing similar systems of play, with their club, and they can able to transform that club form into national form. When you look at England, you look at Foden, example, the last game, then they go after Foden and Sterling and this. Those are only the two players that they play the same style of football on one team. And I will add Liverpool to that. I will add Chelsea to that. Probably the last part of Chelsea and season, you will say, okay, Chelsea has been hitting all the strides. But again, when you look at those teams are playing possession-based. They are playing dominant football. They try for transition from attack to defense. Then they suffocate the opponents there. And you look at Harry Kane, now the criticism they get about Tottenham. But let's be honest. Harry Kane was not playing in a dominating team last season, right? He was playing at Tottenham. They are playing counter-attacking football under Mourinho. You understand? I heard Mourinho was talking on TalkSport today about Harry Kane. But Mourinho didn't make Harry Kane a better player. Harry Kane is playing because he's a good player for Tottenham. He's a style of play where they play at Tottenham. He has Song on the left and probably Sissoko or other person on the right running off him. And in the drop-off, spray them ball there. He's the main man there. You understand? I mean, England therefore decide what kind of football they want to play because this has gone on for far too long. You understand? You think, oh, Foden, Sterling, they're all star players in their team. But when they come together, the coach has to decide, is he going to play star players or is he going to play a team that could become the star team? Or is he going to make a team, are you going to play a team that will play around the star player as Captain Harry Kane? England has to decide because this has to be going on for far too long. It's the same thing with Beckham, Scholes, Lampard, Gerrard. It's always the same. And you hear the same argument now. Can Grealish play together with Foden? Can Foden play with Sterling? Can Sterling play with this player? I mean, come on. We're crying out loud. Of course they can play together. It depends on what the manager wants from the team. Waiting at the objective. What he wants the team achieve. You understand? So most of the time, you know, yeah, I don't know. But
in other words, the manager is the problem.
Oh, well, I will not. But Capello had the same problem. If you look at Capello, Ericsson, they had the same problem. Why Paul Scholes retired from international football at 29? Because he was not comfortable playing for England. But he was a star man at Manchester United. Does that say something about England?
The problem with the national team, they in fact say there is too much interference outside the football. And I think that's not the problem because they're putting the managers under serious pressure in terms of team selection, who should be playing around who, and order for be the center point of the game. Again, like I said earlier on, Harry Kane should not be the captain. But you can't put a playing captain on the bench. You can't do that. So basically, that's why he carries the captain band. So to me, that compliment and the compliment. So as far as me concerned, the team is meant to be built around Harry Kane. But these players are not comfortable to play around for Harry Kane because they play different football than their club. So basically,
exactly, that's my point. When you see Foden, for example, Foden at City, when you see him, the channels, the way they run, the time we get on the ball at City, he doesn't have that time playing for England because he's playing out in the wide. Now City, he get Bernardo Silva, they're all roaming around. De Bruyne, they are dominant, they are playing higher up the pitch. Foden get time for think on the ball, they get time for play the pocket, playing in small pocket there. He's not playing like that in England. It's a different way, and he's playing out wide. You know, you're asking him to stay there and put pressure and then not stay there. It's different when they play at City. Same with Sterling. I honestly don't understand why Sterling gets so much stick from England. Honestly, he could play in any team in the world. He's the only player where he get the threat for go behind the defense. Look the first ball, the first 5 minutes. Look at the deep ball they play. But they know how to play his qualities. They cannot play it in England. You understand? The first ball, you know, playing to the midfielder, pop off to, I think, Luke Shaw play right there in the defense. That's Raheem Sterling for you. If he come in the ball, go. He has that feeling at City. You understand? It's not the same playing for England. It's not the same. It's not. I mean, I'm sorry for saying this. I have to repeat this every time. That's why when the media is always optimistic, then go from optimism to pessimism, like when they put light on. 1 minute, this is what we want to see. That Grealish is on the ball. And then another minute, where Czech Republic miss, you go here. All the commentators there on English TV, they say, whoa, this is getting bad, this is getting worse, this is this. No, come on, guys. You know, let's be honest. This is not a top team. No, it is not a top team, but it's not a bad team. England is not a bad team. Like I say, England has to decide what they want to play at international level, how they want to play. You understand? They should not. The coaches should not be called into playing a team for accommodate all the stars. Then that's always been the problem. How you want to play Gerrard? How you want to play Lampard? How you want to play Scholes? How you want to play this? It depends.
T-boy.
You understand?
Paul, why are you late? Paul, why are you late? I've said this earlier on. It's like T-boy wants to jump and bite me. I'm serious.
Yes,
I told him that.
Jump and bite
no,
you.
T-boy, let's be honest. You know,
I am
Paul,
honest.
I've said this earlier on. I use my statement say they not look angry, you know, because I don't want to say, I mean, they're well or what, because then they could be too hot too much, you know. But I'm glad the way you don't put on some other particular way because team we want to win competition, we want to win game, T-boy. That's not what they do. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, man.
Fred,
you know,
it was important to say. I highlighted it in the first 15 minutes of a match. Again, the first 15 minutes of a match, they determine.
But you refuse to agree with me.
I know they disagree with you. I always don't agree with you. But the point what I make to you is we are not as bad as you're saying we are bad. That's my own challenge. We're not bad the way how you say we bad. Yes, we are.
Paulie can make Pauline can make him bad more pass out maybe they talk back again.
No, Pauline make him bad. Paul the type of tell you say yes, the England team can perform better, but they have a different style of play because you have individual players when they play.
But I mentioned about one of the journalists which in the apple the hypes. I talk about determination. You know, I talk about T-boy. I just want to ask something quick, T-boy. It don't tell me I the look up forget a platform where me and Paul go discuss on one important way. Please, I just ask for a minute, you know, because I think say Paul go agree say me and Indian Sierra Leone Football Stakeholder Forum. Am I right?
I think so, yeah, frankly. Yeah.
Yes, you know, an election day. I mean, I keep that text for 10 years because not so in a bad way, but Paul, when they look for a changes, like when somebody they say, Papa God, this two has to be changing for me in a salon. This two has to be give a better person. No, we know what him in the happen there, you know, I'm not thinking that the right from this will bring and come, but I guess we'll ask Paul, if God destined you for be a president of that FA day, with what you see that the election which they go on, which you just feel so we need, please.
Salon football.
Salon FA, not to the football no more. For you head as a president, you know, because not know the but this election way you don't know. Not know the way I've been hide from you. You know, I just want to just deviate a little bit from this England game and August go more this one because that's the only opportunity I get because I know how because when we come the last game I analyze when I come out, T-boy them they learn them facing a joke. So I just want to get to your own part.
Paul, you didn't have any intention for contest for the SLFA chairman?
Okay, I think Fred, me, he didn't have so many sports forum, but there was one particular one where you talk about where I think we don't hang out there. And I know what you try to talk. Listen, you don't see me position on Salon football. It's very simple. It's very, very straightforward, right? So I've been saying it for decades now. From where I stopped for play football actually, because I've got this experience with my youth. You know, when I play under 17, when we come abroad and everything, and it could surprise you that since I stopped football, before I even stopped football, I've been only document everything, things that I think okay, this is going to work with my experience and my travel. And I don't think Sierra Leone is really a difficult country for government football. The reason why I say that is very simple. Look, for example, look the euphoria now who don't qualify for the Nations Cup. But it's not because
another goal. Croatia is well comfortable now. Another goal by Croatia. They are well comfortable now.
Okay.
You know, so
yeah, Paul, carry on.
It is not because like where Ali with the talk yesterday, it's not because we don't have talent. It's not because we cannot have talent or cannot do it. I think our problem has always been organization. Our problem has always been leadership. What do I mean by that? For make you get to the next level, or for make you be consistent, for let be competitive, you always have to have a vision. A vision say, what kind of players do we want to make? What kind of team, or what are the characteristics of player? What are the general structure we want to set up? And it's very simple. Go back to when football was successful, even without academies or whatever. It was very simple, straightforward. You go to a league, you see player in there, you take player, nurture them, and bring them to the fore and give them a chance when they reach the age, then begin play for the national team. Very simple. But it takes leadership, it takes vision to think like that. You understand? And the problem I don't always get with the leadership of the FA is that people need to think long term. They always have the short term gain, Lord, we'll see what's going to happen tomorrow. We're doing this for ourselves. Because when you look at the arguments there's nothing that you can be, let's say you can be nationalistic about. What I mean by that, you don't get a big picture, say, okay, we one day at today, but one day at tomorrow. We don't start here today, one day at tomorrow. And you have to keep at it. And you can only get that when you get leadership. You get somebody who they think, say, we want to produce the next Mohamed Kalon. We want to produce the next Junior Tumbo. Or whatever player you want to produce, what type of player you want to produce. And in my opinion, what is Salon ever gets not planning. We will not get planning, we will not get nothing. There's nothing like a plan say, okay, even if Fred Kleiner, FA president today, where they come out, the person they can next, or the next person they can, there's a base to start or to continue from. There's a base already. We don't have it. That's how big the problem is. But it's very straightforward. For the past 8 years, you've been in sport, I've been in sport for a long time. You don't see waiting to happen. There are so many things that don't happen. But at the end of the day, look, it just takes us 48 hours to qualify for Nations Cup. And look at the euphoria. Look at the euphoria in the country. But we did it not because we were organized. We did it because, we were determined. And we get a little bit of luck. We come on, we side. You understand? So my problem has always been with Australian football. I think, Fred, if to go to your answer, it has always been the preparation. Now we get something. Now we get a base, right? Let's see. Okay. Now we get an FA. Yesterday we discussed it lengthily. What's the structure of the FA? Yeah? We start from the base. We start from the structure. Let's get the secretariat, the FA secretariat. Let's get this academy, or let's get a center of excellence. It can surprise you, Fred. We still get 5 million plus when they don't have FIFA. We won't touch, right? Follow that money, we go able to take and invest them back and even build a center of excellence.
We're not even ever ask for futsal. There is a serious cash.
It's money even, like what you say, like, it's money even for futsal. If you don't play futsal,
even to no one day, female football.
But so it begs the question, Fred, why we need to ask for them money when the money is don't have FIFA?
How come we get money in FIFA, Paul?
The reason is simple, because we don't get leadership. I was hearing Chris Kamara, and I get that audio thing away. He talks, say, now one of the radio stations, and say, we deliberately not take that money because, first of all, no league not be the winner of the country. Secondly, not all be in charge. Thirdly, them fight for anti-corruption. We shall tell and say, now we get FIFA. I mean, can you imagine me and you, which is also money we day for the country? Even let's say anti-corruption, they don't charge me. If you really want less alone better, right? You go take and say, okay, this $5 million, we will go build one academy in Apollo or even Hastings. Yeah? Center of excellence. Money there for, like what you say, money there for female football. Money there for youth football. Youth football. Under 15, under 16. Money there for that. Every year they get $500,000. $500,000.
Use the word serious money there for that. Wait, I want to let people know the gravity of what you talk. So serious money there for that.
Yes.
Okay. I agree with you, but I want to say, one word I've always used. When we honest to ourselves, with conscience and God and the country, then things will change.
Yes.
For plan, you can get an expert for help you plan. You can get people for help you plan. But we, people, the way they come into football, in this leadership, will not get the honest one. I will tell them to go. I need to go
exactly my point. There's no leadership. There's no one way you don't get, we get the vision. We get the nationalistic vision. Say, I want to do this. I want to leave this legacy. I don't come on a FA for the next 8 years. I want to get this legacy. I mean, we don't discuss about this so much near Ali Bitan and other platforms. If you go to Liberia, the last few years, they make use of the money. They don't build so many artificial pitches. There's still a bill.
So many. Yeah?
Mauritania, will be the beat 5 knots. All the catch them on 2, these will be them 4-5 knots. Mauritania has 3-4 standard pitches and at least of 5,000 crowd. We go take 5,000 crowd. The artificial pitches are not for talk. You understand? Wait till me then do that and get an FA president 5 years ago and the Minister of Sport. We come together. Say, you know what he wants in Mauritanian football. You know that they hire Platini as consultant. They hire Platini as consultant. They give him $10 million. Say, this is what we want to do. Wait till for do this money. The Platini say, that's all for investor. For do this.
Well,
and Mauritania don't get so.
Platini not to 110.
Sorry, Tigana. Sorry, John Tigana. My fault. John Tigana. Tigana, I mean. Tigana was full.
Why swing at Salon? I'm not sure why swing at Salon if I tell you the contract. Victor Luis, they say for go repair stadium now. Anyway, we are jokers. Tibo, you can pain me. I not just want to mention about it. It can just really pain me. And the money we then give him, say this man, Napolego, at least if you must kind time, no Lego buyer. You do give somebody like 27 million. Say for go with a joke. Paul, the only thing that way me, Tibo, minus football, you don't see me anywhere. Yeah. So the passion I get for football, not what team they say on me post them, but it's at trending and you like your country, and this number you sabi, and this you want for do, then so I guess you pick up, so I guess break something to people, no. This whole election, you will the same post.
Yes.
It be not done from the evening, and it was well planned.
Yeah.
I shall say, and go ever hand over to we. So let me make I shall not give for resign. We the stakeholders, because for the stakeholders against Aisha.
Against the stakeholders. What not
I come to that. During election, we all be known say stakeholders they come together say, let we say our best we will come together for handle this football. But because we get this APC, SLPPT. I'm coming, Timon.
Can you make the stakeholders? Because when you say stakeholders, so many people and they get this message wrong for stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders in salon football? Are you talking about the club level administration, or people who are sponsoring football, or people who have managers?
Goal for England. T-boy, I have never seen a useless goal like this. Please, just watch the play. See, also goal saved outside. Let you know offside, because I will not even accept that. I will not even accept that. T-boy, I will not even accept that. No, I will not even accept that. Even I not qualify for it. Now, who that they get stake from football? They call stakeholder. People really administer. We get few like Michael. Not only team managers, not only team owners, administrators. You know, so not only you will get team. No, because you will administer football.
We get their message so wrong. Again, it's the same issue in entertainment. It's the same issue in sport. We talk about stakeholders in sport or stakeholders in football. Because when we mention stakeholders in a salon, we possibly don't know who the stakeholders are.
In football, we are talking about football now.
We begin start to break them down. Stakeholders in football means people that own football clubs, people that they sponsor football clubs, people that they manage football clubs. So we know the different particles or the different areas of stakeholders in football. Because otherwise, I can just get more and say, but because I talk football, mean a stakeholder of football. That's the problem we have in Sierra Leone. It doesn't
No. We've identified that long ago. No, we've identified that. Paul Packer will help from that. We identify that. We know people that get stakes.
I just don't ask you who that then are the stakeholders. Specifics. I don't give you 4 or 5 different
stakeholders in football. I'm talking about stakeholders in football.
Are they owners of how many owners of football clubs do we have in Sierra Leone? Or are these clubs owned by communities? Now, only 2 clubs, for say, get football direct owners: FC Johansen and FC Kalong. Who owns Lions?
No. There's a lot now.
What I'm asking you now, who that owns Lions? Who owns Lions?
Lions na community.
Okay, who owns Blackpool?
Blackpool na community, but people and they will get responsibility now with the owner. And because you administer, that makes you automatically, a stakeholder.
Who is the manager of Mighty Blackpool? Who manages the affairs of Eastern Lions? Then gets a leader. Also, either the chairman or the president of the club, right?
Yeah.
These should be the representative as stakeholders within football. Because
yes, you are right, but don't forget, we get to your constitution, we don't outline everything for we. And when election time they cancel back again, you get your electoral rules time. Like now, we say the chairman and the secretary that they get rights to vote. But if chairman want go, he can still get letter assign somebody else. Wait for not sending picture and the credentials before time for me to prepare all in packages. So it gets a whole procedure. But what I'm saying, T-boy, let me use the words to go for honest to reset God and the country.
I agree with that.
Like what happens so now. So many people don't know that break to Paul. Paul saying that the group say every now and then they post say it's over, don't waste your time. I know the reason. Look at the plan. Kofi Nyako not the weakest link that we group. Emmanuel Abdullah was there. We all know they're going to State House. How they go to money for standby, this and that. Now, Kofi, all man on Senegal, Kofi go. We'll be wait for Rodney back again in petition. Rodney petition come back again, they include, and they later back, they call it 7 State House, say, wait, we don't have confusion now. We don't see Kofi, all go for Kofi. Then, some of the guys, they know well, say, Aisha, say, anybody come up from Wiyon. Hello, we know election, no go right, but you know, we hand over Giri. For your safety, you want to get a safe exit. No, you go understand. Pastor, let me understand. Please, Alan, you go understand.
I start for stop you, then you continue.
Okay.
What's it make a man for stop you and then you continue? That because I know like we get the end product if we don't deal with the before product because we'll come back to them.
Okay.
Yeah. You they say we support these people. So are these people now people that will get the credentials then for actually deliver as president of SLFA or based on the fact say these are our colleagues and we want to support them because we know them? That's one criteria we have for us. The second criteria, what's in Aisha in power for stop certain things that not for happen if the fact say I don't want this other group for come and take over for my own safety or for my own security. I just want to know, do the people that win the contest then get enough credentials for deliver? Then don't hold any kind of position within football in Sierra Leone for me them contest, for me them be the chairman for SLFA? These are some of the questions we are asking. Because we might not know.
He was surprised for no say now the list of which they ask for. So they always get the list. They always not get nothing safe. Nine of the person I way.
Well, so you see, have a problem.
Yeah, now one come to now, T-boy. Okay. You see, right. Because Aisha been come from the back door with me. I think it before me, so I go tell them. They use the IG when I been like this. I will go and let go judge and engrave. You know. We go overnight, go like see the president send them to the IG, say Paupa, and they can without money for some president because them they look say they don't get a candidate, you know. And because of that, and no say she was not the popular person. So how you are going to election? You ask say if Aisha get the power, it get the extra power, because it do a day for 8 good years, election, nobody ask and say she was willing to do that. And at the end of the day, say 9 minutes. Parce que ici, that the Bremer don't can we go exit at the time back and resign. We've been under tremendous pressure. So I would say exercise from people who administer football. Everybody that the country don't say, Madam, you don't need for 8 good years football, no they play. So we need a change. We want to change.
Fred.
Yeah.
What you are saying, I am not disputing. But what are the disputes now? A few things. One, if we have stakeholders in Sierra Leone that are responsible for football, Aisha is the president of the SLFA, and football not the play as alone. Who say the stakeholders then for go complain or for cry? Now for cry inside salon or to FIFA or to CAF? Who should
I wish I will get chance to send you all the letters them. Then I go and let Paul come into that because Paul witness letters of Paul barricades of letters them we send to FIFA, we go to CAF. We go to NSC and Salon, the National Sports, NSC, National Sports Council. We complete. FIFA get this mafia, what I would say, secret social bar of secrecy. Now only the Secretary General and the President listen to. That's not one thing they disturb with the Africans them. And if I can tell you when they can visit, it was all praised about Aisha. Everywhere they can say ball they play, ball not they play, and they demonstrate. When they go back again, that person be the Aisha. So it's difficult, more like a poor countries. But England are different team. When they're ready for the FIFA president, this should happen. But this, she was willing, for when Nine Kadi do back. Nine Kadi have 10 years in the remote, the salon football. What did they be able to do? So that like this boy don't go this soon. I think the England game done and England qualify. No, they just get down the out. But you see the SSF not happy. The SSF not happy. The SSF not happy.
Fred, come on. Give them a break. They won. Okay, they don't go to the next stage. It's a tournament. I mean, yeah.
Check the facial expression. Tells everything. Look at them.
But come on, guys.
They can't even smile.
They qualified. They won the group.
Look at them. They don't even celebrate. No one celebrates. No one.
What's the point? What's the point? Celebrate, don't celebrate. They won the group. They got 7 points.
They can't be buying each other. We lead the group. You know what's now naming for lead the group?
Exactly. Then get 7 points.
Come on, man.
And they lead the group. What else? It's a tournament. Come on.
We qualify on the high. We not last game. We do one and we win 2. You know what's now naming for qualifying a tournament?
Why different volume from your voice, T-boy. Different volume now.
No problem.
Different volume, T-boy. Wow.
We are.
We're more like England pass you. We're more like England pass you.
More like muted right now, so it is but you know what I'm talking. But to be very honest, I think the conversation where we don't go with at the end of the discussion where before no for say England don't qualify is quite good. That is a very interesting conversation. But let's bring Femi in whether watch the game. He don't support me within Liverpool jersey. But anyway, that's another cup of tea. And we know for say he go on for make much for them play with them bring inside saying I can't stable the game. Well, over to you, Femi. Make we take we break first. Why should they come in?
Okay, hold on, Femi in player first before they begin. Hold on in player. Which one?
Now only Liverpool captain. Me, I not sabi him.
Anderson. Okay. Go ahead.
And you know, say for me get protocol.
See, boy, na jealous no more.
Ceremony in the first.
Crystal Palace get play where they play today.
By the way, I don't get me Crystal Palace kits.
Crystal Palace get play we play today.
It no matter. Like England world is supposed not to the country.
Whatever. You know, Sabino get worried as thinking. See, the banker he can do the job with them call and come for can steady the midfield. The midfield being a problem for half.
Attacker.
So then call the man. He can inside. Yes, he's not 100% fit. We all know that, but he can play the role. He supports na midfield. Also, it's good there for talk. Harry Kane is not good enough to lead this team. And incompetent player, they know him. Now make they know the pass game.
Thank you very much.
It's simple as that. The man touched the ball few times, but all the other players that we don't play the same minutes where we don't play throughout the 3 matches that we middle watch. But it's hard to drop. It's hard to drop a captain. Now the problem, Dandy.
That's it.
It's hard to drop a captain. Now the only problem, Dandy, and the press, no, they do well. The press, then they pick the team even before the England manager pick the team. So they put the England manager under pressure. And I think somebody been to talk earlier on. We said then they try for put Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard. You know, this one so today this problem don't begin be. So the manager they're not strong enough for deal with the situation. Really and truly, Harry Kane should not be there.
England has always been a graveyard for good players.
Exactly.
Always.
I mean, Harry Kane is a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's a good player for Tottenham. But everybody they walk around him and they supply him, and he scores all the penalties. Everybody they get on ball, all in common, and they run around them, and they're unsung heroes. Sissoko, I think that's his name. That guy is a beast in midfield, but he never gets the credit where he deserves. And everybody as Tottenham wins, so Harry Kane. You know where they name the squad for this tournament. They all begin to say, England they go win. They can forget themselves. So we camp and competition football. England they go non say. I've been enjoying the way they talk say England able Germany able France. I beg show me the tournament because me I not say it too. And me I don't watch football in England for 30 years. And also said them beat Germany. Na penalty first of all in Germany like safe. They say una can't put the ball down.
Germany 6-0 inside Germany.
Big ball not have been 6-0. I've been 5-1. I watched the game. And the goal was scored by 5 United players, but made by 5 Liverpool players. Can name me all 5 if you want.
Well, Germany. So basically,
but that was Usia Dandy. That was nearly 30 years ago, T-boy. That was nearly 30 years ago. You talk about so. Let's talk about current football. Anyway, going back to it now, they talk about Aisha. I think say the problem where Salon gets, no matter waiting at the situation, no matter what Aisha do, Aisha na woman. We possibly are the only woman within a FIFA. You know who's kind of kudos than they get to FIFA? Say they get a female president of an FA. It not go easy for make FA then pull them no matter what he do. Because they want for make them say their gender, I'm not gonna say equal, but then they type and gender thing. So that's one of the problems we Salon football gets.
Let me just wait for a little. There's two different things for me. Aisha as Aisha, and then Aisha as Aisha and Salon football. As an individual, maybe I will praise them because I know as attain the highest position, for we and FIFA. But I want to tell you, back home, please let's talk about back home. Don't get the thing wrong. Now, what should you do back home? Not to how high you fly. Now, what should you do back home? Seriously. This, anybody with an opportunity, we can grab them. But you go and tell me, say, you left to use the give problem back again. You just the fetch no more now, say, I guess they make no more England flag, they go up and away, say, you home get problem. So now two different things.
I agree with you, Fred.
She can push, she's talented. I mean, a woman with very, I don't know what people say, but it's not somebody where you really underrate her. She came up now, woman. We don't see the role we don't play. She up screen where you go back for this last CAF election. She was everywhere, and we know what in we African women are good at.
So
when they reach on side, but the problem now is
Fred,
we're talking
Fred,
about.
let's ask one question. Yeah. How did Aisha get to CAF and FIFA? Now, would that make how Aisha get the platform for go represent not female candidate, right? So the thing you talk about, FIFA wants to be seen like we are gender, we encourage gender, we encourage
gender equality. Yeah, exactly.
To me, I think she was a symbol of waiting FIFA want to do. Like, look at we get a female now where they lead an FA. Come what may, we have to protect this. This is our prize trophy. Because that's what maybe they call another prize trophy. This is an indication to the outside world, say we have women are climbing the ladder. FIFA not to old boys men club, like what we they calling it.
Well, I agree with you. You asked me a very nice question.
I have always had this problem with Sierra Leoneans, and I think we're too short-sighted and short-minded. I asked the question, how did Aisha get into football? Now, Uragi and the platform for go CAF and FIFA. Now, people then say, oh, Aisha already this platform and the highest stake. Yes. But again, that question I asked, there's nobody answering it. And for me, where's you don't know?
No, I can answer it. I've got a simple question.
Always talk up. It is not what Aisha achieved. Everything he achieved for himself is personal. To me, in personal success.
That's what I'm saying.
Looking at the big picture, what did that bring to Sierra Leone as a country?
Thank you very much.
Understand? And if anybody give me a good answer, I don't say Aisha Vadonde as FA for as long as she can. Me, where she don't have Aisha can alunge like na usa amigo go play matter for say yeah waka. You win the tour. But as long as I know, knowing how FIFA works, knowing the intimate way how FIFA, the politics how FIFA they work, come on. I'm not surprised that they are behaving like this and then they try to protect one of their own. I'm not surprised that when Motsepe kind of salute, the first thing we begin talk na Yapot, na Aisha begin praise. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised when Infantino then they tell and say, don't worry, we got your back, we get your back. That's why she had no problem doing anything to Salon football because she was protected.
Exactly.
This is the woman who told our chief minister, say, no go FIFA. If you go FIFA, then no go talk to you. Then go this, then go that, then go. They try to win with suspension. And so it begs the question,
and even say it don't need local press.
Who signed in loyalty ever?
It don't need local press. Tibo, you're aware of that.
That's
the older woman
to me, I'm not impressed, honestly, gentlemen. And I have nothing against that. I have nothing against her gender or whatever. I would never be impressed with Aisha. First of all, the way we can be president force, don't delegitimate. You don't make it delegitimate.
I want to take them through that.
She was never legitimate.
I was there. I was present.
Exactly.
I want to take them through that because I was there and I was present.
Okay, let me come in quickly. I totally understand the points we Paul they make and the points we they make, and everybody has seen points on this particular issue. But I wanted to take a few things into consideration. One, do we have people who were more potentially highly qualified than Aisha doing the competition where Aisha stand and win?
Yes,
that's a big yes.
People who were in charge. Okay, the people who were in charge at that particular point in time, what were they looking for? What you mentioned Awoko, yes, we mentioned Paul Kamara, he was the then Minister of Sports, but what make them decide for make that big U-turn? Aisha at some point wasn't interested. We all know that. But automatically, she emerged from something that nobody knows.
Let me answer the question for you, Tibo. Let me answer the question for you straightforward.
It was thought to be a politically motivated move. But otherwise,
not a fake.
It was different.
Later we consider it to be a fake. A fake.
Well, okay, that's what I'm saying. It was different otherwise. So what in Una feels say now the changes will overcome that particular decision they for make Aisha a front runner for that particular election day.
Well, she was never a front runner in the first place.
Let me just come in, Paul. Let me just come in, Paul.
There was no competition.
T-boy.
Yeah, go ahead.
T-boy. Everybody don't get to a candidate, they don't disqualify, they get to disqualify. And I hope you know, say, they disqualify all Matthias in one game left. I hope you know that. Tito Mohamed Kalon. So this person has some TV, on just the ask for the answer, but everybody now coming. If T-boy, they go pull all man a class for you can post no man you work go. So I mean, you just know no man waiting happen. But let me be honest to you, Now this is what I always say. Now this same Alim Awoko, Unisa Alim Awoko, JJ and others, They see and say, what the Michael and the SLPP, and they use them to say, mother, na push Rodney say, if they get football, now football is sabi, if Rodney go, then go use back for the SLPP coming. So that don't trigger all the other people. When you get power, like what I tell you, when I say, even to this one way we do this election, if you say, for me, and I winning for stakeholders, because what you do, it was really, a fair and free and fair election. But already, they may not tamper from the big house. Like I explained to you, I don't go to Aisha, let's come to this last one no more now for Paul. Then make sure, say, all the strong contenders, then doctors say, on a left one by on a company, one by on a self no more now. Because let competition all day, on one ten people who come all day, on just choose one person who will go support. Okay, everybody say, Kofi Nyako is just closed because Rodney was not there. Talk to Rodney, Emmanuel say, this one also, it will find for let we all understand each other. Let we just go, we join them and say, now one candidate we get. Not knowing that was a plan B from the airport and also say, Aisha not go win. Same thing, the academy go look, say, oh, Aisha, na APC picking, and it was suitable for that one day, all of us never accept her. We did now the look, say, that Daddy Brahma against Aisha. Aisha resigned, Daddy Brahma come inside, where everybody, according to what they say, that they, we in various platforms, they say, now the president in Bobo, from nowhere, can now, and income from the Southeast would have been strong. All women say Southeast will not vote against Sam. We begin to vote immediately. Any candidate of now, the weakest candidate of all, when I be Kofi away. So man say we the vote no Sabiam. So you see, it was a very good plan. Then the third thing is waiting and can doctor the list. You see, so we get a situation as Sanowe act for control. Because whether on accept or not, most of this thing is controlled by the government of the day. Tibo, you never sit down here. Although me do you never sit down before president to tell and say, no, I'm not going to do this. Me not be able for Sammy, I guess walk up before honest. I guess commodity and choose me no more. Me not look and say, I just commodity Tibo. You see? Because I know what in me internally. You see? I shall come the wrong way. If we can push, then this one we don't cancel. Let me see. I hope say, ain't go look say, without the stakeholders, them or without the administrators, them about football, you're not going to succeed for waiting for the board. But the same Aisha doctrine, I'm afraid, Tiboy, we still not ready it. We still not ready it because the division is still there. And I think say Paul go support me in that.
La come to you, Fred. I just 15 questions. Ask Fred before Tiboy you come in. You don't talk about
15 questions.
Yeah, you don't talk about. Let's get this conversation on the way because this is something really that I really wanted to ask you. Probably you know the internal dynamics of how the stakeholder, the meeting, and all that stuff. I've been part of the group. Lies me up. I've been there. You guys welcome me, and I think I made my own contribution. I made my own feeling. But there's something that I didn't understand, and I want you to throw light on that. You guys have been together for 7-8 years, correct? From 2008.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had a plan A, plan B, plan C, candidate 1, candidate 2, candidate 3. When I look at all the possibilities there, and one thing I've been surprised at, I don't see people in the way they look the SLFA constitution and see all the rules them, and especially the electoral process waiting for happen. Fine. So my question to you, really, or the conversation I'll get, you guys were together for 8 years. And this is something that me on thinking this. When I hear you guys complaining about, then do with this, then do with that, then do with this, and do with that, and then give it the weak candidate. That sounds a little bit self-defeatist. And I say this for good reason. If we be done there together for 8 years, we don't strategize. We get candidate 1 with all the possibilities then we disqualify. Candidate 2, backup. Candidate 3, backup. This was the plan. This was the grand plan. Okay. And then at the end of the day, Rodney, credit to him, he took his fight to the international wall. He win at the last minute, I have to say. But to me, he don't clear. And I was happy he took the case to CAS because we had to test this case in an international court, Usan Fairness Day, and he won. I'm happy for that. The precedent has already been set. Number one. Secondly, with Emmanuel, with Calon, you go say they get a personal, I don't say mistakes, but then get their own, personal feeling about each other or whatever it is. I don't know. But Fred, forgive me for saying this. if we don't be together for 8 years, why would somebody come out of that group or somebody come out? I'm not saying we look for government support or one government support, whatever. You cannot discard that. The politics of the football, we know. I mean, you and I know what I'm talking about. But how comes at the last minute, you guys couldn't stick together and say, we have decided on this. I'm not saying we swear blood, I know they talk saying we swear blood, but we don't decide that this one want. No, you laugh, but this is something that is this is the ball. Listen, I got really upset. I got really upset when I read you comment some of other people they commented in the group. When they complain about this, because to me it was self-defeatist in a way, because you guys were like shouting at each other, barking at each other. When I go meeting them, people in the outreach come on at the meeting. There was so many things at play, and at the end of the day, you guys lost an election that you could have walked away with, like the prize trophy. Somebody else from somewhere. Well, no one didn't know, but to be honest, I didn't know him. Now I don't begin to recall who that the person will win, but I didn't know him personally. And when I hear you guys complaining, they can't put the weak candidate. I start saying, come on, Fred, let's be honest.
Ask the question.
No. Listen.
I was there.
How is it that when I force somebody like Emmanuel or when I not support whatever, whoever when I get to support, for say, okay, guys, this is the game plan. And then secondly, when Aisha decided to withdraw from the race, you guys didn't have a strategy. There was nothing. It was just like, okay, Aisha don't resign. What now he do? What you go do? That was poor strategy, in my opinion. Because I'm not being get plan A.
Answer your question.
I will come in because you not being get too much voice. But to me, when I look at it from outside, I don't know inside because I'm not going to a meeting. But when I look at it from outside, you guys didn't have plan A. And I think the day where Aisha resigned, the day when I lost the election. I said it openly. The day where Aisha decided for throwing weight behind Thomas Brahma, that was the day you lost the election. Because I remember very well where people they say, when I don't talk to this candidate, when I don't talk to this candidate, when I don't talk to this delegate, when I don't talk to this person. And then when that list come out, immediately I see, man, we don't lost 11, we don't left 9, we don't left 11 delegates. I did the maths, I did the calculation. And when you look at figures, statistics don't lie, numbers don't lie. You guys didn't have the vote. And from the first vote, we begin coming. You understand? So my question is, I will not let sit down at the 11th hour or the 12th hour for let somebody come outside, can't impose candidates on una. When I say they impose and una not agree, and then una lost the election.
Okay, can I go on now? I think you're right, and that make us say I'm glad we are bringing this topic because the two contributions that were superb. You have been playing possible, you just won the best. And you just won because we don't see that stakeholders only together back go with the best among back and the best to show himself. But Paul, this is the same now. There is a problem in Sierra Leone. One of the biggest problems with the Hamburg from education, football, and everything that the green and the red. That one they did it. Now make I use the word to be turn. Now we've been there before, so we want people and they say they want APC candidates. I want to listen carefully. They want APC candidates. We don't do it together. All these plan A, plan B, plan C, number 1 candidate, number 2 candidate, number 3 candidate, just because we will not say all the tactics are for disqualify people. But if you go disqualify 10, for only 1 left, they're going to say yes. That's one of the tactics. Then 2, but not forget say, Sierra Leone, how will they think A, other people they think B. Like how you say to the length, I shall resign. Now they tell we lost the election. Now they tell really tension. Because what you do, we be not know say 99% of even the one that we Princess Libya Aisha they don't want Aisha. And now be we on tactics where we don't put within plan A, plan B with 5, 6, 7 candidates. That's every type of work against. Don't forget that they get power now they earn. Now they mean did it. So all the way to happen at the secretariat that they game in the play. You are aware because you see all the complaints, the secretariat, they take documents, they hide them, partially all before documents come out, they hide listed down in minutes. People in back will be saying, even Wafa away, commodity Wafa their statements. But the problem with Africa, you cannot fight the government of the day. I want to be honest to you. It's really difficult. Now, let's cut a shot for una. You immediately call Emmanuel Abdullah, Mohamed Kalon, the Michael, the Kofi Nyako, We don't get a team say one pandemic people now also go most survive way We don't care who that get for go or who that get for go administer. Let's just get this lady out when they make her play this football back and then we'll put her house in order. I want to be honest to you, you know. Now, if you find out, say back, Daddy Ibrahim can tension really cool. But this is like the woman we don't know, say, they don't want me. And if I mistake my opponent and can't say this OCL so back again, well, I'm finished. And look how I don't fly high for make this South Africa begin go to FIFA. So it not be even ready, be not ready for council election because if the county votes, it's not disappointing. Later on, I can now say, okay, that's what they may do for me. You know, when you get somebody closer to the president, you know, say they go work all with them. What they're doing now, we at the belief say that was the work of the minister. Seriously. Now for make sure say all we talk as we've been there, call them to a meeting, you know, where the first meeting we then call Margot and others, Emmanuel Abdullah not been there. And then feel for you will get Emmanuel Abdullah in arguments, then feel for mention Emmanuel Abdullah at that time they and then go argue on Kofi say if we as government to give Kofi, we will know what to go do because wait to know as they say now one per week. And I believe say go for bridge the gap. And you don't hear down the wheel in man, we don't they say we need to do nothing at salon without the government. You know? Then we agree, say, okay, if we not say Kofi, now one game with the lead, we get other people and all with it on the way, I believe, say, go push Kofi, we'll get the right thing.
You know, say that all leaders side. You know, say that.
No, I can't to one point. And that's why.
You don't go do something without the government. You know, say Emmanuel Abdullah, I don't dispute that fact, right? You know, say Emmanuel talk, say,
yeah, he's saying, no, I will come to that.
Where he talk, say, then say the government say that Mr. X then want. He say, you know, say Emmanuel talk.
No, he say, no, Mr. Because when you see what I say, they call them
Emmanuel go up to the head of state and then go confirm and say, he go confirm and say, the statement say that Mr. X then want. It's not true because even
the head of state come in.
Talker.
Paul, let me just come in and just normalize the discussion because I don't allow to have a serious discussion on this particular issue.
Yeah, I know. This discussion, maybe we need to forget about that.
In order for end, because I know exactly what's in at the basis of the discussion. But as far as I'm concerned, we all the gear to one straight direction for make salon football play. And understand all the controversy, all the politics, all the foul play. Everything else will not happen. Me say now one boss we don't follow this discussion for long. From the day I shall take office in salon, I was there. So I knew exactly the whole story dynamics behind everything what is so. But one thing I want to believe as Sierra Leoneans, we they use politics as one of the basis of the excuses for everything what they do in salon wrong.
Yes.
And everything we do in salon right. We either take politics and grade them for the good, we take politics and degrade them for the bad. And I can guarantee you, say, 90% of the time when people use them to card the ASO, it's not in the favor of civil unions.
No.
It's in favor of themselves.
Yes.
Not for Salon. Because if they do in favor of Salon for the better in the kind way how they do them politically for make people gain and benefit. But it's never in the favor of civil unions, but for their own individual gains. So we go talk this for the next couple of months, years, term immemorial, for as long as we Sierra Leoneans will not honest with ourselves and say we actually play the card of every.
You come to the honesty back. You come to the honesty back.
And again, Fred, that honesty there, it encompasses all of us, including you, including me, including Paul, including Molai, including Femi, including Ali. How it does, now the facts say, if I stand for what I believe in, I have my own integrity. And I know for sure, say, this particular thing where they can put me on passo, it's not going to benefit Sierra I am not even going to be bothered. Because what can I be bothered? Now, because I know for say, this, now for self-gain. If I camp on this, I will benefit, or I will benefit the people who are just there around me. Now, that's why they usually make plenty of people and they outside of politics. Not to say, now, forget involved. Either they don't believe in the political parties them, or they don't believe in the individuals the way they want them political parties them. So, as far as I'm concerned, this discussion will continue. It will continue it will continue until we get a God-fearing and people's person and somebody will get believe and trust for the Sierra Leone agenda. Then nothing else will change in Sierra Leone. Everything will happen. Paulo make mention of Salone having $5 million sitting at the bank. And we all make mention of money where they wait for improve the game. We don't have free to non-stop free for certain things then just for the fact say we not get nothing for it. SLFA. Nothing political. In no political connotation, APC, SLPP, nothing for do that. Just for the fact say, they inside with circle. It means go get nothing. We don't work for SLFA, we don't work for them for free, we don't work for them for pay, then get for pay we plenty. But we don't go make noise, we not holler, we not do this. Because guess what? We can equally do the same thing and we want the money then pay we. Because our money will work and sweat for them. But if we say we all put one agenda inside one basket, then we're not going to move forward. So make we split the agendas in a different basket then. You don't go free on, you don't try for bring football come into Salone in so many different ways. You don't stop there. You continue, you challenge. Yes, it will be difficult, it will be impossible. We don't open offices in a Salone, we don't want for the past 10 years. Whether we make money or not make money, we still maintain the structure because you know what you do? It's longevity. We don't survive all different political parties. So we get for stop for use the party card symbol also because not for the country, but for individuals. So anybody when they come politics to me, and they ask you what is your agenda? Is it for the country or for yourself? Oh, T-boy, come make we join this movement, we go better we safe. I am not interested. T-boy, come make we join this movement, we go change Salone dynamics. We go employ people then. We go change the lives of people. And you're not just saying it, but if you're physically ready for doing. Collaboratively, we work with anybody, regardless of your political, your national, your regional, your tribal, and anything you believe in. For as long as we believe, say, you can make a meaningful contribution, you should be part of everything in Sierra Leone. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what party is in power or not. Because at the end of the day, if you try and you fail, you haven't failed. Something then go block you. Something then go stop you. Then go suppress you. But that not for be the end of you. It will be the end of that particular project there, with that particular issue there, or that particular area there. But you can also move on with different projects. Politics is everywhere. We talk about the England game just now. We don't see how we all not express the concern, say the English game is being played around Harry Kane. Nobody is happy about it. But guess what? The managers don't have control of that. Because it's highly political for make they use their young Pekin and we play around them. They've given him the captain ban not because he is the best player on the pitch, not because he's the only man that can control the players on the pitch, not because he's the most skillful or the most talented or the most honored. No. Not just because not a young ball eye and he can't sit on the bench. So whether he perform well or he not perform well, he has to play. You can't put the captain on the bench if he's not injured or if he's not sick. So that's not the politics within in English football, and it happens everywhere as well. Cameroon want to go play this Nations Cup, so they have serious political issues with the national team. They get French Cameroon and English Cameroon. Over the past tournament, they were the longest. They even disqualified at some point because they cannot select the team. Because to one of the best players, the way they play for the country, they will say, now the French Cameroon then come out. What about the English Cameroon players? They are also good. But then got that discrimination there against themselves inside the same country just because of language barrier. French and English were in the same country. So we get for look at beyond dynamics. It is very wide and broadened. And we get for look at what thing we go do collectively in real small corner for effect some of the changes them in sports. Let me not just say football, but in sports. If we can able to achieve some of those small little things that all they push, Mola is a coach, and Paul is a coach, Alibita is a spectator, is writing about everything in sports. Fred has got himself involved in sports management in Sierra Leone. if we know ourselves, we don't say, okay, let's go and form our own structure in Sierra Leone. We work parallel against what's in existence. We will struggle, but nobody plays in the middle of that pitch. We get 11 players. Not so. When we represent our country, then go work say, but some goal if you know go say it's not a goal. We will qualify and we will represent, and we will take stance. But if we stay away, we cannot effect change. And if we say we the count for can't effect change, sometimes we dey form full for gain wisdom. So the politics in salon football, it on the time immemorial, and it has become a vicious circle. And when it becomes a vicious circle, it means it doesn't end. It will continue. It is ongoing. How can we change that is what we should be looking at. Other they will bring out for change that day. If we are able to sit down and go restructure, if there is a manual that doesn't work, let's change it. I always say in a salon, the constitution is wrong, let's change it. Let's sit and review it and rewrite it. So it suits everybody. But that same constitution there, now APC they come condemn, but they need to change them. Now SAP they come condemn, but they need to change them. Because then they use them at their advantage when they sit in power. So we get for say, let's change some of the document the way they rule we, where they govern we as citizens in Sierra Leone. Otherwise, we are doomed. And this now, we don't go past the 20th century now. We go now down. So if we didn't think like how we think 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago, 100 years ago, and we still think so, it is disaster. If I can give you one example, black diamonds, the same package where they put an inside 50 years ago, it not better pass the one way modernity don't, where everything now has been modernized, technology don't improve. The black diamonds were still there. If you open them, you go nearly charm the plastic. And that is degrading for the kind of modern world where they live right now, where everything don't change. Now, the salon that's what they're proud of. For Lekwe, we get one old minister of sport, we get one old SLFA, and we cannot play football for 4 years, 8 years, and we are proud of saying, yes, we don't go Nations Cup.
Now, listen, Tibo, I want big say, I want big one thing say, I think, I want big Paul, if you're able to organize, we will get to other people from Zone. This will be a whole week program. Serious in a whole week program. Like what you say, for begin change things. Me, I'm there already. I mean, I'm doing my own thing, my own way, and my own contribution. You know. But we need this. It starts from here. You know, it starts from this point. Start talking about it. Let people know about it.
Fred, last say one thing.
Yeah, to get to Timon.
Salon. We don't talk too much. It's about time we start taking actions. Because we talking in the Kaya Ikomaya. And we great grandpa and not being interested, but talking about the kind of wanted to come out the other is a reality of what we see they happen currently in a salon. And it only happened for the past 40 years. So look, we forget the talking. Let's get into action. Action point, yes, it can start with talking, but we therefore begin mobilize as stakeholders, and we therefore begin identify.
Tibo is sad. Oh my God, Tibo is sad. Tibo.
If the structure,
Tibo, you don't understand. It's sad.
Fred, we all not go through
Tibo
that
is
same
sad.
kind of
Like, let's give you an example. Quick example, Tibo. Quick example. Quick one. Just quick one. Tibo, I struggle now. Yeah. Through somebody where you know, Sol Jabati, for get me to the guy we get Mediatel, for talk to him, Colina Denmark, for see how Leos will go play with Formel Dong yanda. You see, say, then ten and day, the uniform been day. Everybody accept how nobody not been there. Now, this full of guys. So Ali Muba, we go to sign the contract. Back Ali Muba go now. Soiree can Soiree call me. We sign the contract. I support God name Michael and disqualify him. Then go bring Aisha come. Aisha not do nothing. If forgetting that the country, not put the country for what you can do. You don't struggle for a all big brand now. Now it looks in the way Denmark that they use. Get a special, not like when you go take white again or blue give you. who said you get a lie on the mountain and everything special. No,
no, let me just ask you one question.
Yes, please.
What has Sierra Leone benefited from Hormel apart from jersey?
Thank you very much. One, there was a signing fee.
What is the signing fee?
And then two,
I'm
not going to disclose them now. I'm not going to disclose them now.
How many players benefit from the signing fee? What's in the
T-boy. Football get procedure. When signing the contract, no, T-boy, you don't sign it with the players. Now the FA for make provision for waiting come back for distribution to the players. You sponsor already come back on kits. You know, you need to go direct. If you want to get maybe like a boot direct to the player, like a boot sponsorship, and Paul will come into that. You deal with the FA. You deal with the administrators and the FA, and therefore make sure say.
What I'm asking, I am asking direct benefit to the beneficiaries. Then, Hormel is a brand. We all know say Hormel is a household brand, right? Like you get Nike. Yeah. And we can tell you for sure, if Nike, they sponsor an athlete or a player, we know the benefits of watching that player or that particular club that they get from Nike. It comes with so many different forms of royalties.
If you don't let me answer the question, if you don't understand something, it's so simple. It was only. Quick. I want to get to that quick.
We will have a program specifically designed for this particular discussion because we cannot end this discussion. Trust me.
No, it's gonna end. You're right.
I guarantee you, we will find a specific program designed for this particular topic, as in salon football, sponsorship packages, the Hormel deal, and the administration. We will have a topic for that. If we last for 3, 4, 5 hours, that's fine. If we last for 1 hour, that's fine. But I think a specific topic needs to be designed. We will gear towards this particular discussion. So we go able for discuss them in details. Because some of the things also they can talk about. So the public doesn't know about all of these things.
Exactly.
The public maybe know a handful, or here say, you say, me say. But if we discuss them in details, we can watch with Dotini in a public, but we need to be addressing some of these issues so people know exactly what has gone wrong, what can we do to fix what has gone wrong in the past so we don't repeat the same problem again. That's, I feel to say, now the way forward for local begin deal with some of the issues there, and we get our hands on deck. Instead of just we talking, we get to accept, say, yes, I did this wrong, I did that wrong, and we should move on from this, we should move on for that. Otherwise, we will sit here for the next week or two, talking about the same thing. We will not find a solution, we will not find solutions on the deck that we can execute, and we will just be in the same place, and we're not going to get nothing for change. And if we want for effects change, if we begin hold up and take responsibility for certain things, and then we accept, say, we need to make this change, and we begin work on the changes then. It doesn't happen overnight, but we can start on slowly. Again, what we are doing here is just a build-up for Cameroon 2022. And we don't just start them for almost a week ago. We don't see the amount of issues that we don't come out in terms of football, in terms of salon football and the rest. What if we now start to talk about African football, West African football? Because of the Euro, so after the Euro, it changes. So what happens when we begin make comparison with direct competitors in the continent? It is not going to be the same discussion. So basically, when we get to that stage, the game has changed. Will the game change for the betterment of us sitting down and talking about football? Or is the game going to change for us talking about football in regards to Sierra Leone and making comparison with our direct competitors? Now we are making evaluation with other European countries that have moved far away from Usai they start first. Not even making comparison with other African countries, then we sometimes they are far with them at some points. So we get a lot to do. We get a lot for handle. We get a lot for talk about. So look, we'll not talk about all inside today because we cannot finish it. But I go like for say thank you. I don't see Juma don't come in. Let her bring them coming shortly, and then we go spend maybe another 10-15 minutes or try to wrap up this particular game. I know for say family has not been that's involved in the game today, because if they watch the game more so at the back, and also we have a star-studded platform. So Juma, welcome. I know say they come in and you just want for, you don't hear a lot of the discussion we don't happen, you don't listen to everything we don't go on within the background, and you just want for say a few things. But I will allow you to say a few things, and we decide for wrap up because we don't spend more time on the game today. One thing I want to say, we qualified England. Here we go to the next stage. So over to you, Juma.
Thank you so much, T-Boy, and hello to we panelists them, and thank you for your great contribution and the passion on the show for the game, both for Sierra Leone and, generally we learn from Una. And these are the kind of conversation that we get for continue for advance, because the game is important at all levels, both for we mental, physical, and overall development as people, as human beings. It makes you happy. Football makes you happy. So we have to be happy. Sadly enough, we own country. We love the game. It's part of our DNA. Unfortunately, there are a lot of opportunities who they miss, and it is sad. For the first time, at the Kamna program with me opening, I begin say I agree with waiting T-Boy say, most of waiting T-Boy say, for the first time, because we always get to your own, different viewpoints. I agree with them for, what they talk about. I need to talk about England anyway, because England, in as much as I can support them with a heavy heart, because, I lived there for a long time, but I'm not impressed because England always blame everything on everybody else except taking responsibility. If not to the pitch, now the ref. If not to the ref, now because the other country then they foul. All the excuses they make, now the same thing where themselves they do, but they always make excuses. So I'm not impressed. If they continue for succeed, fine, that's all right. Let's go back to this conversation. What thing caught my attention is this thing about salon football and politics. They say it's a lazy man's argument for blame everything on politics when it comes to salon football. The reason make I say that on Paul Parker and I think Yeri Claude say a few things and T-Boy. For me, politics is by everything. But I think the major problem we'll get with sports, particularly football, SLAFA, and where generally then at the country itself, is the issue of sycophancy, very hypocritical to ourselves, the issue of poverty, and the issue of where we're not ready for develop systems for push things go before. We they pretend, like say, we want for do good for push things go before. No, but like I say, we always they build system structures or put things in place where they work for we, not for waiting they work for the game. Me growing up in Sierra Leone, my experience, the sports football of SLAFA has been dominated, or sports council have been dominated by few people, within a specific period of time. When you get the Awoko days, them now the names are there. Now Awoko, Tola Thompson, Ali Muba, now the Sakulat. When the era pass, you get the soirees, everything. Where Aisha come, instead of they bulldoze, they push everybody. They not care about building things for move the sports go before. And I'm afraid it's the same thing that's going to happen now if we're not careful. And it come back to the same thing. Are we just playing for qualify or fetch for qualify for each one tournament or one competition? After that, we start all over again, like how Pamola had been saying the last time. Or we are building a program. Do we have a 3-year, 5-year, 10-year, 20 years plan for football in Sierra Leone? We don't have it. So we go always get empty. So let's make a talk about the sycophancy. Let's take one club, for example. Eastern Lions. One of the biggest clubs in Sierra Leone. Sycophancy and poverty, now they pull the club so. It's the same thing way they see in Eastern Lions. What's them they fight for? Would I bring boss? Would I not bring boss? Would I label boss? Would I not label boss? because of sycophancy and poverty, because them feel say you go get money now. This person I get the spending power right now. Let we all lean towards that. And it don't clear, it don't show Nayaso say not to politics. Because Rodney Michael, if people they say he was aligned with the SLPP. But see how he was treated, within this period. At the end of the day, for commodity. Kalon then slap him during the APC term. They say na SLPP in a support. But look how he was treated now within this period. Aisha was favored to a large extent. So the thing just mix up and box up. So we have to make sure we are genuine in our interest. But like I say, Paul Parker, Molai, una not for give up. Because you have to be in it, to change it, to win it, and to advance it. And Fred as well. If una say una they pull back, the thing will just get war. So these are the things where they say, and we all get for put and for go before. I make this Lions example because it's there, but people are not seeing these things. Let say not to just laugh and no more day. This problem not starts today. For me, tell them go beat the Wafa people them. Cashew Hall and Cole and other people and then beat them at AYV station, police then kind of they harass them. Who said anything? Nobody not say nothing. Chris Kamara, when the Secretary General, becomes so powerful that he can do whatever he wants to do. Nothing that they come up behind it. So if they don't put somebody in their own blue eyeball, are you going to expect change? No. But we get for talk, and like T-Boy say, we get for act, for move this, game go before. So that's all I would say. And I agree, say we get a whole, lot more of this conversation. Because if we not discuss this, Lord, just not waste your time, Over to you,
right.
T-Boy.
Thank you very much, Juma. We're now with the time for wrap up. So I will come to we panelists and say thank you once more for participation for today's program. I want to say today's program is highly been dominated by the Salon SLFA election over the couple of years. And
you moderate the panel fine. If I don't care if the discussion go back. Now I make a miss Juma. Juma will only about this program.
No, I really can't foresee.
Juma they always keep your eye on the ball. You don't lecture up.
No, the reason I panic. If we need back, we talk about England. Well, the man is smart.
No, you see, continue. Insist not to go too much on the England game because now they criticize me England team. So why have to come to the same time and they criticize me? I don't care. They can be the platform for discussion.
Exactly what I suspect now happen. You see where it switched the political and what
Yes, exactly.
Because at some point, forget they asked me, say, Tiwa, talk no, I think no, so basically, I get to keep me guard and watch una discussion and say, okay, fine. The discussion is not about England anymore. It's about SLF now. So not first first. When I don't first done, I'll come in and then I normalize. But it's been very interesting because we laugh about some of them things now. So, but it's very serious for make we get such discussion. And then discussion also you need to come out on normal discussion. Because the whole idea is to talk about the England game. But because we're so passionate about the young country, it gives you the opportunity for also discuss about the country. And the country is the paramount. Now the most primary thing we'll get concerned over. Regardless whether we are in England or we are in Europe or we are in all these other parts of the world, the country matters most. Because at the end of retirement gone, we get for take we picking a day, we go picking a day, we get for show and say, now so na papa then come out, now so na mama then come out. These are the kind of values we'll get for the country. So definitely the discussion not stray, but it just means no more. I actually took a back seat because everything was on England and it was not on my side. Even though we don't win the game, where they say, oh, look up, oh, not happy self. Come on, man, compliment we don't win. No can still they criticize me. Even
So T-boy, you now them picking the way they go, where them buy ball for you, you can go as they begin score by you to T-ball, you can go now.
But you can go exactly.
Exactly. Not trust me, ball
He
can go.
just take his ball like all they say in England.
Yeah,
He took his ball and ran home. You know.
Well, actually, I not take the ball and on going also. I let me game play and watch Una from the back. So that's exactly what I did. But anyway, I want to say thank you guys for coming and thank you guys for your participation. Let me continue for they do this on a regular basis. But Fred, like I said, we'll find a time to bring in this discussion. We will discuss about some really in-depth, so we know exactly some of the issues then and how can these issues be resolved. We might not get it right all the way through. We might not get it wrong either. But at least we can get a starting point for how we go say, these are some of the things we need to put in place for local move forward. And there are many people watching on this. So basically, we need to have a
I'll say have a date with them one time. Not left there, let them go. Paul Packer and go on God aside just now. Get a date.
I know, Paul.
Very important.
But T-boy knows how. T-boy knows how to get me. He knows it.
For your notice, Paul, Fred, Molai, and Alibita and John Samba is our residents. But
okay.
We get the official true residents. We are Molai and Alibita. We now merge this team together for an ongoing football discussion based on the fact that we are preparing for the AFCON. There are so many other things in place where we decide for bringing out within the next couple of weeks, but we are still in the planning stages. We are still putting a few things in place, and we go able for migrants to become possible. But like I say, we get with two who would always start with Molai and Ali. Well, Molai is more efficient because Ali always in the car late, and we don't want to say if we stop for the car late. And right now, they don't take in camera, I don't put them off first. So we got for begin fan came for begin Vita for the come on time. But yeah, on a very serious note, we're looking at a formidable team so that we'll be able to sit and have this discussion. And I believe, say, everybody has on this particular platform gets speciality in what they do. So we need to actually say you are the best in this, you are the best in that, but we believe you are a professional in your field. You can accept criticism. It's practical. Sometimes you may not like it. Sometimes you will have to deal with it. Sometimes you will have to accept or don't accept it. But it's the same way how we run things. We are very open. We have open discussions, and we talk about the issues. We don't attack personalities. And if we know the one within we guest level, we can't go beyond to the audience level at all either. So basically, that is what we are here for. So Juma, just for reinstate that these guys are officially now here, and we'll call upon them at any given point in time. But like I said, we'll fix a date and we can be able to put a program together within the shortest period of time. But we'll just want for take advantage of the Euros and discuss the Euros whilst the tournament they go, and then we can bring we own issues them in the game. So I would like to say thank you to you guys once more, and thank you for your contribution. But I will give you a minute of rounding up and just say a few words to the audience then. If I can start with Fred, I think I start with you because you say one for good guests.
Exactly. I think Samuel. No, thanks for having me. And I believe we as the back game and just keep up back again for the watch. At least we are getting there. We are getting, and I believe it's just the beginning.
All right, thank you very much, Fred. That was a short one. I can go now to Mion. Let me never say you do coaching, Now, very few days ago, that I realized you are into coaching. I thought you were just doing football education, but not really actively involved in coaching. Well, I don't learn something from you for the past couple of days. I now know that you're a coach. What you mentioned, say,
I chase Pamola. Say Pamola. Pamola, I don't set the trend. So we got to keep up. We got to keep up with Pamola.
No, it's good because again, we talked and asked a couple of days ago. Say, it doesn't mean if you have played the game, you should know about the game. This is what some of our people fail to realize. When you don't play the game and teaching the game and coaching the game is totally different. Yeah, but we never able to take that next stage. Oh, I don't play football. I don't play for this. I don't play for that club. But that doesn't make you a coach. You got to go through the process of learning how to be a coach. There is a different way of communication, the different languages, the terms, the terms, the way they use in coaching is not the same language me and you to speak.
Correct.
Yesterday, you and Pamola may communicate about some levels of football, be this, be that. I can only hear those things, but I don't know exactly what it means. I've played football, but that doesn't mean I should know all those technical terms, because these are coaching technical terms. The Bible is different. The dictionary is different. The language is different. Everything that you communicate in as a coach is different from the way they communicate with you when you're a player. So over to you, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure, absolutely. Like what I say, you know, personally, I don't enrich myself after football. I don't go do a lot of things, but I just had this urge for comeback. You know, I don't do a lot for my community now anyway, for Australians, but there was this passion, this urge, say something is calling me. You know, something is calling me. So I decided to say, okay, what? You know what? Let me go into coaching. I've done management on another level, sport management somewhere. And, you know, with me personal business, what I just think and say there was this drive in me for coach young players. And I tried, you know, I did it like part-time. And everybody was like, wow, you know, you what are you doing? I mean, I just, you know, but it's just my knowledge, you know, just. And it turns out people were watching, everybody was watching. And I'm like, okay, I have to say my name now also, the name I make now, people they recognize. And so, but the impact I create, you know, the way I, you know, I carry myself and the way I educate the boys, them, I got a lot of accolade and a lot of good feedback, even the parents, them. So that gave me the urge for go, okay, you know what, officially go into it now. Because we were in Pamola, we don't get this discussion like 4 or 5 years back, but I really didn't thought, okay, coaching is probably not for me. Administration, maybe I'll go into administration, but, you know, I decided to go into coaching and I haven't regretted it one bit. But I tell you, playing football, like I said, even to the highest level and going into coaching are two different things. You got two eyes when you play football, you see the football the different way. You got another two eyes when you don't be coach, it's completely different. But if you're able to bring all two together, that's what makes the big deal. And of course, you got to pick here and there. You got to pick ideas. Them you got to get 1, 2 ideas and put on and make your own. You know, make your own thought about it. So anyway, in terms of salon football, of course, there's so much to discuss about. I've been with Fred, like I say, on so many platforms. But again, I'm just passionate about it. But again, I want some eyes to wait till Juma say. There's been so much going on. It's so confusing sometimes. I I talk to myself, this is really confusing. As passionate as I am with salon football, it's sometimes confusing. So anyway, it's a debate for another day. But anyway, I want to say thanks to Una, thanks to Sarah Jem. I mean, this platform has been very educative on so many ways. The only thing I'm going to go and let the next step over there, I'll let Juma moderate, let you know moderate. So get that done. Femi, they laugh. I don't say Femi, anytime I talk, they laugh. But anyway, it's been very educative. And anytime I join the discussion on so many other issues, social issues, football, any other thing, you know, I'll be very, very welcome. I mean, please for joining us. It's been a really good thing. Meanwhile, the Euros are gone. As long as England, whether they invite me or not, I will crash this city. Thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Paul. I not say sketch me no more. If you ask Ali and Pamola, they will tell you, friend, not today, our friend. But tomorrow, something like you. But yeah, thank you very much. I not say we have.
Yesterday they talk say, go and let Pauline and Fred in at this forum, yeah. But you forget say me and Fred they see one side, so you will be surprised. Because me and Fred they see, but Kuti they see on one side.
Well, I think what you have been hope for, I wish I don't be the hope for, because today I can't get show. Oh no, too. That's why. But it was good because again, you possibly might not have this same discussion on the forum the other day because it's a totally different platform. But definitely, I understand definitely where you come from. But yeah, on a very serious note, there are so much we need to talk about in salon football. Absolutely. And we cannot stop talking about it because it is a large spectrum of different things that we can use for tap into. And make sure we get to the right people every day for understand exactly what thing we try to get at and why we use this medium for get to what we try to get at, because we want to make everybody benefit. And if everybody benefits, it boils down to us. It will filter down to the layman way, possibly not to say we'll get an opportunity for getting to any form of sport in Sierra Leone, specifically on football. So now I'll go back to you, Moblai, for your own final take for today's show. Today you've been quiet for almost the last half of the discussion because it is becoming political and you're the watch, you listen, you shake here, you turn, you write, you take note, and they watch you. So over to you.
Yeah, the conversation been very interesting. Personally, when you get into details about Salon football politics, I'm honestly lost. I'm honestly lost. You understand? That's why most times I can just listen and learn so many things. And
so now for a lot of because the terrorists again for going on that platform, they forgot to take position.
Now I can always take notes. I can always take notes. But the thing what I will say to you now, we within the diaspora, we get so much ideas then. How the game for run. You understand? We get so much for give into the game. Salon football. But within me observe for the past 2 years, the one that we did at home, we're fortunate for doing at the position that we did at the FA and all these things. They just no one see we did at the diaspora. You understand? They hate you with passion.
Why?
Because they feel say we know the right thing. And we did in the right direction. And then no one for them in the right direction. So they hate you with passion. And then they miss you. For the past 2 years, what they after the game, I they follow all the programs them. And I they see the positive input the way Sierra Leoneans the way they into the game. Waiting the try for it's like a signal. You send the right signal, but these people they know they take this signal. You understand? They know they acknowledge them because they don't want to go in that direction. They. So you see that now most of we in the diaspora we're going to become frustrated. There's so many things that we because not only frustrated, stress and so many things because you see the reality, but these people don't want to embrace or accept the reality. So what's happen now? Then they target the Sierra Leoneans, the within the diaspora. We understand the game. We get knowledge of the game. You understand? We know what it takes for develop football. In the target way.
So are you saying practically they don't want the game to develop to the next level and in its
No, we're not ready yet. We have to be realistic. We're not ready yet. Because most of them here, so let's say like Paul and Mohamed Kalon, they don't date Panentia for a while now. You understand? Let's say since where we start the COVID, then they on almost every week, every month, every 2-3 weeks. And everything when they say, if then people have to take them on board, if you don't see development, but they're just not ready. They're just not ready. You understand?
Right,
anyone from the way see them at home, where they come who can join the handle in the diaspora, because they say one for let them, you understand, acknowledge them. I didn't acknowledge them and turn them back. See, okay, I don't can take ideas from Paul and Co. I don't need them anymore. He said, don't go join the system. So the system get problem.
Yeah, it's really about self-interest, to be honest.
Yeah.
It boils down to that.
It is.
It's like they don't want to see around the game because they know probably who can do the right thing. And some of them, they feel threatened. They don't see Mohamed Kalon, FA president, probably in technical director will be somebody we know about football, in administrator will be somebody. So it is their personal interest. Actually, they are defending their interest, just like politics, you know. If I lose this, you know, I'm out of it. You know, I'm out of office. That was just see. And don't forget, these people get $750,000 every year from FIFA for administrative fee. The Secretary General has reported them making 40 grand a year, as I understand. Now, tell me, who's civil servant dinners already make 40 grand? So if you break that down, it's about $3,500 a month, $3,500 a month. That's 35 million cash. And then they don't go get double masters. They don't pay a master. They don't go do this. So when you look at it, it is in his interest to defend what he get now. I mean, these are just the examples that I give. You understand? But if me go or if Mohamed go or if somebody else go into it, they allow we're going to break down that house and build it back. And some of them don't go ever carry football. And I'm saying it on this platform. You will not come to this me and football, if you don't get knowledge of where team they go with now vision. And there's so much we can do or we can say. But again, I subscribe to what Juma say. At some point, I was not interested in Sierra Leone football, but I became passionate because I see the difference you can make with your advocacy. And honestly, it can be frustrating sometimes. Like I say, I don't want to call the word, but we're going to stick at it. We're going to stick at it because if we don't, it gets worse. I'm not saying we're not creating an impact. I believe that they take some of the things that they say, like what Pamola, they say, they take our on board because we see them. We see them press release them about this, about that. We would only on the platform, we talk 2-3 days, like what Pamola said, the next 1 week, we press release about some of the ideas that we don't talk. So they are listening. Like what Pamola they say, whether they acknowledge and now openly say, oh, this is my idea, or this is not Tibo's idea, or this is not Pamola's idea, they will not say it, they will not do it. Because they have to defend that territory. If they allow Pamola to come in here, Pamola gets sense pass or get no pass them, that's it. It's done. Namion done so. So basically that's why. And if you get somebody in a leader where they co-opt all them people and they with money, which you all know is skill in salon. Like I say, $750,000 plus possibility for go do courses abroad. Go study. If you get your first degree, you can go do your masters, then pay for everything. I mean, why will you want to give that up? So you just get for manipulate the system for let you stay longer in it. That's why we didn't go to Congress for 8 years. That's why we don't report. I mean, we don't go to Congress because they go ask we what do we do the 750 now 750 times 8 calculator now 8 years now they go $750,000 times 8 years. So you're talking about what 5 million or more, something like that. I mean, do the maths. That's why
they survive under chaos. With chaos,
exactly. When it's chaotic, and when it's chaotic, it's good for them. Going to Congress go bring regular order, right? It go bring regular order. It go bring change. It go be accountability. They don't just
$6 million.
Yes, $5.6 million. Now you do the maths. If they earn 40 grand a year for 8 years, calculator. What's in hand they go be? That's it. Anyway, that'll not take all of that time.
See, but I just something quick before you.
320,000. Oh yeah, sure, definitely. I'll be kind to you just now before I go to Femi. So over to you, Juma. Sure.
Okay, thank you so much. Again, like how they say, we go continue for talk. Something really broke my heart where I read, yesterday, I think, briefly, in a summary. Get for do with football, but get for do with sports. Like how you talk, say not just football we get for develop, but every sport discipline. You get the young people where they aspire for go the volleyball team, the Salon volleyball team. Supposed for go Japan. But they're not able to go because they say funding not there. How would you explain this to me as a country? How many people are already in the volleyball team? They don't reach 20 from the coach Kandon. So you want to tell me, say, you're not able for rally, forget funds for them, you're not able to forget the banks, the telecommunication companies, them for contribute, and even the president in goodwill, like how we give the players them extra $10,000 bonus for then do the same thing for the volleyball team for go. So now them people are on train for years. They don't aspire for go to a competition. All for let them tell them say funding or they. What are they going back to? So then
is that being confirmed? Because I believe it's for confirmation for that.
It's for the public, it's been confirmed, Okay. That's one thing. Then I just want to throw something inside where we hope until they claim say we get connection na CAF, na FIFA. And we hope say, Aisha and the team will get so much connection, go able for help and guide the new administration for begin prepare. I read something briefly, and I should say Ali Bitagowan and Paul and Gowan for research on that a little bit. That's CAF, they work on bringing Super League na Africa, the Super Cup where Europe waiting. When we feel say it will be an opportunity for develop the game. So are we preparing ourselves? Will they watch them here for to take advantage for begin prepare we say for make sure say we will be possibly one of the team that we then go choose at an early stage? what do we need to do? So I mean, just one for through then thing and they say, I hope say people and they listen. But that thing will be very good for the game. Is Sierra Leone going to be ready if we prepare a long-term strategy? Over to you again.
Well, if we not prepare a short-term strategy and no throw strategy, forget about that Super League strategy.
Well, I don't like to be defeatist. I like to throw challenges and ask questions. Sometimes somebody...
At the moment, we should be, because that is what we see. Yeah. They say talk about what you see, not what you don't see it. Right. For as long as changes haven't been brought on the table for us to look at it and say, yes, okay, these changes are going to be taking effect from next year, and so on and so forth, we cannot say we are ready.
Well, Namika asked the question, but it is possible if we want for ready. So.
It can be possible, but it doesn't take a year. And I feel that Super League Day, according to you, research possibly will happen within the next couple of years, right?
No, well, CAF just say that they look into and then they, heavy talks, they go on serious and they advance. And when me think, say, will be an opportunity to develop the game in the continent, because if money involved and all that thing, and it will be more competitive, people will get something and they look forward to. So now that make I just throw them inside the...
Definitely, I agree with you, Nandi. But over to you, Femi. We will take that into consideration, and we will also talk about the volleyball thing, I think, on the next program, because, again, I was going to be doing more research on it for confirm and make sure, say, yes, the team don't qualify. Now, the female volleyball or the male?
Let's say volleyball. Somebody just don't confirm, say, well, I think it's be former athletes, say, confirmed by IOC representative today. So,
let the person confirm whether it's the male or female volleyball team, please. Because I don't see the comment myself. Yeah. But over to you, Femi.
Just give me 5 seconds before Femi they take over. Let's just read that side where Juma they talk about, because I get the press release right in front of me now. It's just a segment of 2 paragraphs. It said the executive committee, this now the press release where they released and it's 3 pages long anyway. The executive committee may have to discuss and consider new CAF competitions which may generate additional funding or income for CAF, its members association and bodies, and also contribute to African football becoming globally competitive and self-sustaining. A further went on the last paragraph I got for read. Say, in this regard, we are assessing and in a preliminary discussions to start an inclusive and broadly supported and beneficial CAF African Super League. We have been following the attempt by some top European clubs to form a Euro Super League, and we will learn from their experiences and pitfalls. So, anyway, not taking my time. This is not a discussion for another day. Let Femi go ahead.
All right, thank you very much, Paul. Over to you, Femi.
Well, I want to begin with a song. Uda member, make them follow me. Pamola Sidom. Sidom.
They all get. Sidom. Okay, go on, Femi.
No, wait, Pamola, why is that
strong?
Yeah,
it's going strong,
Pamola?
Yeah, it's still going strong.
Pamola is still going strong, yeah. He walks the streets of Freetown every other day. Yeah. A very free and relaxed human being. You can't even...
he's early 90s now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But I haven't seen him around.
Nami big man paddy as well.
You don't see any Batuna every day.
Huh?
At 4 states. You
yeah,
know, that Sakoma use.
Yeah, Sakoma. That is the opposite to Winarede.
Yeah.
And always what we learn from Pamolai, every year they bring container of books, pens, pencils, and all that thing, and they for school picking there. We had Sakoma there, Paulo Conte was there as well. You know. My dad was their tailor as well. And I told now they make sure say they get breakfast and money. If they will not get bread, they know they eat.
You see, I don't bring different topics now.
I
tell you. So we on Pamolai. Would they be you? Are we ready for go take that position? Because the notes are we been take. No, reason why I literally why hats off to Una all, but especially more like, but not go to Una first of all. I think so they can say for fix a problem, the first you get for know, now for know say you get problem. The second thing, now for know waiting the problem be. And the panel will put here so today, it look like so I don't can teach we say, A, una no say as Salion we have a problem. B, una no waiting the problem be. So thank you for educating me. I hope say no more we can take the next step now and for actually fix this problem. I'll miss people in politics, because football are politics, so I don't know what in Germany can talk about just now. You know, people in politics get voted in because they make certain promises. It go be fine for no waiting na the people that we they can now after Aisha waiting at their goal and how they aim for achieve for make them tell we so okay we'll hold them accountable. I think say some of them problem then it's us the people, and as Fred ministers sometimes the stakeholders them they should hold the people that will then vote in accountable for waiting them don't promise it and they can't do. And it's a shame say Salon football not don't play for all the years, and do you imagine say as somebody says I don't remember how that after we religion football now we next religion. You know, that is, you know, as I say yesterday, I say every single boy picking where they go up in a salon, he like he puelte, they must buy a ball or he must kick better or he must do something because that's what we see. You know, that's what we see, that's what we aim to achieve. Very few of we they born in a salon we no one play football. So really it's a shame so we get 7 million people them where then say we the percentage or the ratio now something like a 5 point something woman to every 4 point something man. So if you do come 7 million, that means we get at least nearly 3 million man them now we country. All the one in the group thinking say they want to play football. It's a shame say Salon not been play football for all those years. But as I say, we seem for the know the problem. Let we try for fix them. The reason why I give heads up to Molai because he talks on TV. I strongly believe say the people in Sierra don't want the people then from the diaspora forget an input. You know, una might be right, say then the fear for waiting go come. But I think it's a little bit different. I think say, you know, this country una there, so where you turn around, you light pump, water on. Where you switch lights come on. You take them thing for granted. These guys honestly have not seen that. And it adds for make they understand the different world with another experience. So I think that's what the problem is. Then things that they understand, but they don't know. You know, some of una don't kind of decide of the world, una don't get certain training. I know they say the training as salon in what's the word? Inferior. But una don't get exposed to other in them. So I believe say una input for be valid. And with the big say make they listen to now. Una not come for can take over. I know say some of una don't threaten say if una go they no get room. But you know, it's the truth. We need for Fenway for collaborate. The need for Fenway for encourage Sierra diaspora into the decision making. Because may they not forget, when it comes to finance, Sierra diaspora they give more to we country than even waiting we government take. This $10,000 we then give to them footballer, they are nothing compared to what they send back home every single year. From when Rebel War reach, I can imagine the amount of money we don't left these shows them and not going to Sierra. Really into the Sierra so supposed to be a stable country with that money they alone. So make them not underestimate the power of diaspora. Make them use we skills, we ability, we contacts for better Sierra. We not come for confetti them. That's what I'm gonna leave it for today.
All right. Thank you very much, Tony, for those few wise words. And like you clearly say, the diaspora is not here to take your job. The diaspora is just here to make meaningful contribution for develop the country. So it doesn't matter how you look at us. It doesn't matter how you rate us. It doesn't matter how una feel say we can for can take on our jobs them. But we just want to contribute in our own little ways. It's not just about sending financial contribution to Sierra Leone, but we have so many experts in this country. We have so many experts all over the world. We're able to make meaningful contribution in every different sector in Sierra Leone. We might have one or two, or possibly more than a handful. And now, can you imagine the national volleyball team don't qualify for Go World Cup and they can't go because the country not get money for support them? The national volleyball team is likely comprises of a minimum of 20 or 21 man squad, including the players. Because a volleyball team will be a minimum of 6 players. Am I correct, Juma?
I honestly don't know, but I know, you know.
Yeah, volleyball is 6 against 6, yes. In the
Like,
court.
it's
the officials and stuff. The whole team, the whole delegation will be more than 20 people. If
that's what I'm saying. The entire delegation will be a minimum of 25 because you go for putting out these subs. At least you have 2 squad because you get for the rotate them on a regular basis. So at least you get a 12 or 15 man team and then maybe 5 delegates. But guess what? Are you seriously saying that we cannot afford for pay for that particular delegation if we go represent you in a World Cup? Take that as a football competition. We go talk, say we're not getting money for go sponsor them, for me them go qualify, for me them go play. They don't qualify done already. We might not even have taken any form of concern about their qualification. So until we don't even know when they don't play or how they play. Me sitting down here, somebody they were at the following of the volleyball team, but I did not even know that they've gone to the final. But I did follow that particular person. But I make one for be specific, whether not the male volleyball team or the female volleyball team, because as far as I know, the female volleyball team has been doing extremely well over the years.
But it not even matter. Let's say not the baby volleyball team. What
no, I just want to be specific.
National representation. These things are important. Firstly, these people choose this particular discipline of sport, where not so the popular one, but that's what they're passionate about. Firstly, secondly, they've worked hard. You understand? They will not care. Then go. You understand? All what they needed was to go represent. Maybe then for win something, maybe they not win something, but for the fact that, and that's how you get rated, you understand, and graded on so many things then. It is beyond just playing the game, but you're representing a country. You understand? It shows that you young people and they participate in leisure activities, in sports, things for develop young people. And then they give other people opportunity for say, oh, okay, maybe I'm not good at football, but because they also don't go represent, myself I go begin play volleyball with me socks ball nayaso or something where they tie plastic together, then begin play. That's how you popularize the game. You understand? I mean, can go box for the United Kingdom, yeah? Then you see most of the Asians, they now jump into boxing.
Yeah.
For me, that's what it is important. It's not about winning. So it's a lame excuse to tell me that you don't have up to $100,000 to fund that team, for 1 week. You not necessarily say they get holiday for 1 month. They can go for 1 week, 2 weeks, and come, but at least they are there. Then these people, they've achieved something to say we represented Sierra Leone. Sorry about, me coming on again. I beg.
It's totally understandable. But again, like you say, it's about the passion of the country, not necessarily one specific sport, but now for the whole nation. Because when Sierra Leone we represent full blown. If now 10 man self will represent, if now 1 man self they go play, imagine we get a player willing to even salary they play for Finland. Now it's going to make noise for him. 1 game player. And not even Salon self they play for. They play for another country, but just because now Salomon, we are so passionate about that particular game. It will follow them because we know for say that's Salomon did it. So the whole idea is not about just individuals, but it's about the country. So if the country they go represent, we should be supporting them in any way means so necessary. We have to. So look, we not just discriminate, say, okay, now volleyball, important. Hello? Who's the Minister of Sports today? Volleyball is one of the disciplines of sport in Sierra Leone. So what's the preference? Now, because now football no more, now they FIFA they spend money. But guess what? The volleyball federation also they. It's a tournament, and definitely they will put some amount of money into the particular country they qualify. Themselves will be paid. They will be given some money for participation. So are you just saying these guys are not worth representing Sierra Leone because you don't have money to fund them? I think we need to start up a campaign and see we get for find out about when the tournament they start, who side they start, and why then people are so.
My brother, Olympics are in 2 weeks, so.
Well.
So say they will get funding literally 20-something of July. So next month now they begin. So really and truly, I'm hoping say they get a change of mind. But I don't think say right now crowdfunding will do anything. Literally now we'll just get for grip at them by the truth and force them for them.
Well, we'll get for force them for them because crowdfunding not going for them because it's too late, it's too tight. And how much $1,000 you feel say waiting for years for doing kind of thing in the day. So we get for push the case as quickly and as fast as possibly as we can. We should be knocking at the doors of those who should be responsible. Not to for just make that compliments gift and make the real gift. Well, not a real gift, real duty. Perform your duty that is not a complimenting duty. This is your duty, is your obligation for make Salon represent. So basically, we have to do something as a nation. No, just you don't know more follow you and say, I'm looking at volleyball. Somebody asked the other day, are we guys going to be talking about other sport disciplines? And the person mentioned basketball. When was the last time you heard about basketball in Sierra Leone anyway? Now, we don't hear volleyball don't take another level for who represents in an international tournament. And we still don't say we not get money. So let's think about some of these things that we really, really cherish as Sierra Leoneans. And look, it's time for prioritize the thing that we really need for be prioritized. If we not take responsibility of we actions and we take responsibility of we passion, then we will fail the nation. Because we passion, not a responsibility of the nation. Because anything you get passionate about doesn't mean the nation is also passionate. It means it is your passion and you want to succeed in that particular passion. So it is an individual goal. It is not a national goal. So look, we begin to think national, then we begin to think self. Because when we do have those sort of mentality, and then we look at going down the drain. But I want to say thank you to everybody so far. Thank you to Paul. Thank you to Ali. Ali get for go to bed early because he get an early start tomorrow morning. So he go say good night to now. Tomorrow we come back for sign on for say good evening. So Ali make sure say he own that good night day. But I want to say thank you to Ali. Thank you to Fred. Thank you to Paul. Thank you to Molai. And thank you to Juma for joining us. And also thank you to Femi for being resilient at the back end, even though say today you not play too much active role because for support England. By that, so now blow the we don't qualify.
England well, man. England well.
As I talk so, I don't talk about England.
England well, man. Too.
But guess what? We're not gonna be surprised for looking at see what's in the happen on the second round of the tournament. So I want to say thank you to Una once more, and Una continue for watch the football program because it just don't begin to continue for the be something of the past we get for the come on and on until we complete the Euros as we make the preparation for the Cameroon 2022. So stay with us and continue for join us. And tomorrow, of course, you don't see the Facebook post now, so you don't need to be told. Don't wait to be told. You should be here tomorrow at 10 because the king is back. Stay tuned and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.